Back
You
to
were
front,
sure.
That's
inside
how I
out.
always look, Rick.
Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to this week's GKP Thursday Night Live. Usual thing, folks. We'll be right back after this. He does it every week.
Don't work.
Good evening, all. Welcome back. How's
Yeah.
it going, guys? You good?
Yeah, all good, thanks. Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody out there. First of all, massive, great big thank you to all the new subscribers and to all the people that have been following me on TikTok. Very much appreciated. I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas and the new year has kicked off to a good start. Some of us more than others deserve it more than a lot more do. By which I mean there are some people out there that have had a particular bad year last year, and hopefully, fingers crossed, this year is a vast, great improvement for pond keeping, koi keeping, fish keeping, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we've seen the back of, I won't say the back of it completely forever, but the back of all this bacterial infections and such.
Yeah.
I flipping hope so. Parasites, I mean, they're always going to be a thing, aren't they? But they were
Yeah.
particularly bad last year again.
Yeah.
I think it's just one of those things, isn't it? It's just one of those things with parasites. But let's hope, fingers crossed, everybody has a bacterial-free.
It does seem to have died down a lot, the
It
bacteria.
does, mate, doesn't it?
issues.
But it
Yeah.
always tends to do around the colder months, doesn't it? It's when that ugly, well, its ugly head rises again when we get
Yeah,
back into
spring.
those summer months and spring again. So hopefully, fingers crossed for everybody out there that was suffering and had any trouble. I hope everybody's hopefully got on top of it.
Yeah.
What you been up to then? How good? How new? How anything to report? Still flooded down?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Just work,
Nothing and
work,
lots of
and
it.
work. Yeah.
Nothing to be good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been repairing. The farm's taking a beating.
That's it. I thought we were just me and Dave in Discord just prior were just saying, with all these heavy winds and heavy rains and high winds, we were wondering if you might have had any more damage or any.
Yeah, but
Are we talking flood wise or are we talking both?
we've lost sections of the back of the shop. The polycarbonate disappeared on. I wasn't there today. Yesterday, mega gust come in and just pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were 200-300 meters away when we found some of the sheets.
Jeez.
What the heck?
It was like,
We were seeing some of the stuff around Daz's where we all trees and everything that had gone down.
Yeah.
And oh man, we never got we got a bit of high winds, but nothing major.
Yeah.
I mean, blew a few of my ornaments into pond. That were about as bad as it got.
just the gust. The gust just suddenly, you just suddenly get these crazy bumps. So we've lost 2 polytunnels.
Oh man.
Jeez.
Just general. And for some reason over Christmas we got, whether it was 8 rat or multitude of rats, destroyed lots of liners. Full ponds. They just got in and just chewed corners.
Yeah.
I had
I've had that before with mice.
Yeah, 6 ponds dropping water when I got back. That have had to be sorted. So
Ted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had bad winds just before Christmas.
Tiptoeing.
And I've been spending most of my time between Christmas and New Year taking trees down for people.
Yeah, that's what.
Leaners that are just like this, 45 degrees, just waiting to go. That kind of thing. It won't wait. So
It's not just been over here as well. I mean, well, here has it? It's been bad all over the world, hasn't it? Like as Chris Taylor says there, love to everyone in Japan. That goes out to them all again. Hit again with a massive. Was it 7.9 on Richter scale?
Yeah, it was high.
Like that, and again through the Nagata area as well, hasn't it? Some of the koi farms were showing live footage of it happening there, or recorded footage that they'd caught whilst it were happening live.
I don't know if it's affected any of the koi farms.
I don't know. No, I know. I heard on a rumour that a lot of them were filming it and showing a little bit of it going on. So it's not good, mate, is it? It's bad.
No.
2011 when they had the last big one, wasn't it? Where it did lots of damage.
Yeah. Yeah, it caused a lot of losses, didn't it?
Yes.
A little monkey then behind back in my chair trying to spin my chair. We've got a couple of topics this evening to talk about, and we have got pictures of everybody's favourite koi. Some people have sent in 1 or 2. Other people mainly sent in just the 1. So there isn't a great deal, but again, I would imagine that most of the time, most people's favourite ones are probably the ones that they've already shown us in the past before. So it's not going to be as long a one. There's only about, I think, a maximum of maybe 10 or 15 to go through. So, but I think we do have, if Vicky could let me know, I think we do have one more for the week after. And I think that's going to be
metallics, won't it?
The end of the koi appreciation, because I think we've pretty much gone through the vast majority. I wouldn't say all, but I would say the vast majority that most people seem to be pretty keen in showing and looking at. The numbers are dwindling with it each week in, week out, so I'm guessing we're coming to an end with that one. We'll just touch on a few comments and say a quick hello. Happy New Year to everybody that's wished us all Happy New Year. All your comments were dropped in as we went through the beginning of the intro there. We've got... Where we got there? Some... DT Kai says, love that sign, Gaz, looks mint. Didn't even know that you could have had YouTube logo on it. I wrote that myself, mate. Did it myself. You can type it in. It took some doing and all. Putting in dot by dot by dot by dot by dot, filling it all in, and then added the YouTube logo bit at the end. But each time I got close to try doing one, if I slipped, I could put a line straight through it all. So I was going like, oh, damn it, man. when you were trying to expand it on screen to make it bigger so I could see it more pixelated. Oh man, the amount of times I drew in places I didn't want to draw. I nearly quit on it, but I thought, no, I'll stick at it. I'll keep going. But yeah, it looks all right, doesn't it? I'm surprised I'm allowed to still have it up there.
Looks banging.
Dino says hello to most.
Yeah.
Nice. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Dino.
Jeff says afternoon all. Afternoon, Jeff. Thanks for joining us.
Might be afternoon where you are.
Might be afternoon where Jeff's from. Mark Childs says, sat next to a lake watching in my bivvy with a monsoon outside, praying the rods don't go in. Oh, God.
Yeah. Is it fairly mild still? It's been mild the last few days.
Mild, yeah.
It's
Good
done
carpet,
everywhere I've been, it's done no but rain all week, continuously. I even left the pond when I topped it back up on New Year's Day. I left it 2 inches shy, and within the following morning, when I got back up again, it were already overflowing across lawn. I thought, yes, Jesus Christ, that's some crazy amount of rain overnight again. But it is what it is, isn't it? Can't do nothing about it. It automatically floods all that garden, so that's what it's got to do.
About 5 inches of flood water at my mum's at the bottom of the garden.
By you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's always floods. Yeah.
Your mum's garden were under 5 or 6 inches of water when you got to the bottom of it other day, wasn't it?
It was. I just need to figure out some way to harness that water so it doesn't get wasted. Use it for topping up tanks.
Dig another great big hole, does, and fill it with fish and water.
You and your mud ponds.
That'd do it though, wouldn't it? That'd give you somewhere to put it. You could store it in a mud pond and pump it from there to your other vats and everything else when you needed it.
Yeah, holding tank.
Oh, backup res.
Just dig the whole of the lawn up.
Yeah, why not?
Simon says, Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate it.
Happy New Year, Simon.
Simon says, I've also wish I'd put an overflow on my pond with all this rain. Yeah, you and me both, mate. I wish I'd have actually put a little bit of an overflow system and just put it down that drain, just beside that little bush. Could have done it now, but I still could. I do need to sort something out. I really do need to sort something out with some kind of a surface skimmer. I'm going to have to get something in there and put something in surface skimmer wise to get all those goddamn leaves, man. Jesus Christ. That drove me up the wall, getting them all out of filter. They were clogging all filter system up, but that weren't the pain in the butt. That were relatively easy to do, to get that out and clean it all out and get it running again. The problem was every bit that had sunk to the bottom, as soon as I switched on the pump again and reprimed it, it fired up another lump into pump. And then I took that lot out. By the time I'd done, I had a handful of leaves, like a ball of leaves like that. Just all mushed up oak leaves and everything else from next door, my garden, down on court and everything that just keep blowing in everywhere.
It's the wind that keeps circulating around, even the ones that just fell off and they're just dry on the floor. I say dry. The wind just circulates them around, doesn't it? So
yeah, it does, yeah.
Wave after wave of bloody leaves.
Because it's like a horseshoe shape, the court. It blows in, circles around and spirals around, and then they end up getting quite a bit of, a couple of metres up in air. So they blow around then and just blow into gardens of it. And now next door's lost their garden fence because that got blown down in last big storms that we had. I seem to have got a heck of a lot more in my garden this year than what I've done in past. So
yeah.
Big
net over the old garden, Gaz.
Yeah, exactly. 6 foot high net.
Yeah, that's right. I have got a net to put on the pond, but
not the pond, the whole garden, mate.
Yeah, that's it.
If I'm going to do that, I might as well just make it into one giant polytunnel, Anna.
Yeah, go for it.
Just never get no sun again.
You could sell that to Marie. It'd be a sunbathing.
Oh, yeah, sure does. We're having enough selling a bigger pond, won't it? He says to me the other day, he says, you know what I think you should do? I think you should extend pond right down to the bottom of garden and then just have a nice little Miranda in blue slate path up to the top. You'd only have that little bit of grass to cut then.
If there was a polytunnel over it, it would never rain, no wind, extra
get some heat in there as
no
well.
Floods.
Every day.
Yeah.
No leaves.
Telling you that, honestly, if I put a polytunnel over, it would end up literally end at road by end at month. I'm guaranteed
It would.
It would literally just get ripped to pieces up here.
Because you are on top of the hill, aren't you?
I'm
You're
right
beside
on peak
it,
of
yes.
an hill, yeah. It's and it does get bad. I'm literally on the brow of it, so it's not good. For wind, rain, snow drifts, they drifted up last year. They drifted up against front door, and it were 3/4 up door. Wheelie bins completely buried and everything. Couldn't see any of it. I had to like open door, and it was just an imprint of the door in snow. It did look pretty cool till it all fell in. But right, let's. If anybody has got any topics or anything that they would like to chat and have a natter about, or would like to come on and join us, we've room for lots more. Feel free to click the link at the top of the comments. You'll see it's pinned up there. If anybody has got any comments or any questions, if you write them out in capital letters for us, guys, it's a lot easier for me to be able to spot and see. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll do our very best to answer what we can. We'll go with his first one, which one is a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek one. Well, it is. It's where is it? I'm sure it was in here somewhere. Tongue-in-cheek question. I found flukes in my grow-on tank at 1 p.m. January the 1st. Can I claim to have the first flukes of 2024? Or has anyone found them sooner? Did anybody find any flukes sooner than that? Because Philip North would like to see if he can claim that title. I reckon you can claim that title, mate.
I will say so. He's free to dibs those.
Yeah, you're welcome to them as well. Well, that sounds a bit harsh, but yeah, it's not something I want to be dealing with again next year. No doubt I will be doing though, but it's one of them things if we do.
They're preparing, aren't they?
It's
Everything
weird
up
though,
to
Gaz.
press looks pretty good. I've not got no issues, so.
It's weird though. One year, I mean, I didn't have any trouble with flukes at all last year, but the year before, I had quite a few bouts of flukes. It's just the thing is, it's not even seasonal because you talk to other people, and when you don't have them, they do have them. So you think, well,
yeah,
you think no reason for
there's
it.
been a lot of people suffering with them at back end of last year when it was real cold. And they're still finding flukes on the fish. And the other one and all, blanket weed.
Oh, don't talk to me about
weed
blanket
seems
weed.
to have been a bit of a bastard this year towards
It's a bastard every year for me.
Well, yeah, you breed the stuff down. In fact, what we should find out is if any of those people that have got blanket weed real bad came and picked up any fish from your co-found.
You start that.
If they purchased any from you, you never know. You might have sent them home with some.
Yeah, the spores are in the water. That's what it is.
Right, let's see. We got one topic which I'm really glad you're here for, Rick, mate, because at the end of the day, this is probably something that you will be able to help a lot more with than the likes of perhaps me and Daz. You've been in the industry and everything. It'll be something that'll be definitely more suited to yourself.
Sounds worrying. You're breaking up. Can't hear you.
Well, it's been sent in by Ashley Dart, and a question and a topic that he thinks we really should talk about. And to be fair, I think it's a valid conversation and a valid topic. But we'll go with the first one that we've got on YouTube, which is, hi guys, could the panel give some advice on how to feed during winter when the pond temps are up, but can also drop rapidly? Everywhere says wheat germ only, but my pond's at 12 degrees and they're still eating summer food in small amounts. Is it okay to carry on?
Depends what the summer food is. We tend to use not so much wheat germ, but a lower protein food and feed. If it's 12 degrees, carry on feeding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But little, don't give them a massive amount.
Also, just watch the weather. Obviously, you can look at the weather forecast now. It's warm now, but by Saturday, we're due to be freezing.
Yeah, it has said it's going to drop cold this weekend, hasn't it, again?
Yeah, so literally be aware, feed, like the whole lot. Well, we've been feeding non-stop, but we'll stop now before it gets cold. And just, whilst it's cold, don't feed. But 12 degrees, any decent quality but lower protein type foods, just not your growth, high protein, high oil foods, because that will cause problems.
So that's pretty much when you're saying temperatures up and down rapidly, if they are up and down rapidly, you'll see your fish act in a different way, don't you? You see your fish all clumped up together, grouped up, going into a little bit of torpor stage, settling down, but hunkering down and grouping up together. And then when the warmer temperatures come again, you'll see your fish up. Now, if your fish are up and they're moving around and they're looking for food, by which I mean with my pond, what I do is if I go out and they're out there sucking on side at pond, they get some food, but a heck of a lot less than what I would have normally done.
Yeah.
Small amounts just to keep them enough, sustained enough, but not
ticking over
too much that they're leaving it and then it's sinking and fouling the water, but just small amounts. And then obviously I'm not feeding higher protein food anyway, so I don't really have to worry about it. And my particular food says it can go down to I think it's 5 or 8 degrees. Either 5 or 8 degrees. I'm sure it is, but I've only fed it as they've asked for it. If they've asked for it and they've been looking like the last 3 mornings I've come out this morning, or this week should I say, they've been on top. They've been looking around. So they've got a small handful. When I've got home on an evening, they've had a good cruising around and they're all actively looking for food. So I'll give them 2 good handfuls, and that's it. Normally I might normally throw in like 4 or 5 good handfuls under normal feeding, which I'm going to have to start upping. We were talking about this, and we were talking about this the other day. I have got more and more fish in my pond. Obviously, everybody knows I've got probably more than what I really should have, but I'm happy they're doing all right. But I've been thinking to myself, my fish haven't particularly grown all that much. And then Jeff will say, well, how much are you feeding? And I said to Jeff, well, same as I always feed. And then the penny dropped. Yeah. The penny dropped there at that point, and I thought, shit. All this time I've been adding a few more fish, and some of them are bigger than others, and some of them are slightly smaller than they're grown ones, but I'm still feeding the 4 or 5 handfuls each time I feed them. Instead of thinking, right, we have another 7 or 8 fish in there, you should have been upping that feed and giving them maybe 8 handfuls, so then they all get a good share of it. So yeah, food for thought. We're going to give it a try, and then hopefully get myself a feeder for my birthday, so that I can get a feeder on the pond. Yeah, somebody just stand there in garden throwing at it all day long. Well, hopefully get a feeder for my birthday, and then start getting some size on them for summer months when I'm at work and I can't be there to feed.
Yeah,
that's the idea. But yeah, Chris, I would just say, mate, as Rick said, I mean, I don't personally do wheat jerky. I don't know what everybody else thinks on it.
I don't.
My opinion of it is it's just another bullshit marketing spiel out there that makes people go out and buy another type of food for another form of season. I don't really think.
And the protein difference isn't that great between.
It's like 3 or 4% difference.
Yeah.
It's not the protein that's the issue. It's the oil content as well. The fats are lower, so it's it is useful in the fact that it should be an easier digestible food. So it's not going to sit in and pass it through easier. We don't use it a great deal because it's got a habit of swelling a little bit when they're eating. So we've got a lot of small fish when they're taking pellets. So it can swell in the mouths when you've got smaller fish taking pellets and whatever. But yeah, a decent wheat germ food. The problem with it, yes, it's easily the fish don't like it as much. You tend to find that there's less of. They'll come up to eat it and then not eat so much.
Turn the nose away.
It's not a bad thing. It's just one of those. Yeah, your fish tell you if your fish are active and it's 10 degrees, they're using energy, then they've got to replace that energy.
Yeah.
If it's 6 degrees and they're pretty much dormant, they don't want food. Don't feed them.
Yeah, they don't need them. Yeah, don't need it.
And it's not a blanket answer, is it? Because people's ponds are different. Your pond will be different temperature to someone else's pond. Yeah, just generally the fish look for it.
It surprised me the other day, Rick, to see him. It was the first thing in the morning. It was 6.5 degrees, but it was early. Well, like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm saying not really early, but it's early to be out in your garden. And when I looked at pond, everything were just cruising around, and they were all munching on side of the pond. And I thought, well, if I weren't feeding them now, and they're eating the algae off the side of the pond, and it's only 6.5 degrees, then they might as well have some food. If they're going to be feeding and eating algae, they're still going to be putting algae into the intestines. So they're still they're hungry. They're wanting a bit. I give them a little bit, and they came up. They hit it straight away, straight on it, quite fast as well for what I expected. But I was saying we've never really had a year like this, have we? As mild as this winter. Not for me, for the length of time that I've been keeping cow in my garden anyway. I've never really known it be as mild a winter as this up to press.
Yeah.
You don't jinx it, Gav. You tend to find down here it's up until Christmas you feed your fish.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you just get that change and it will be 6 weeks of
hell
cold.
Yeah, freezing.
And then spring starts and you're off again. And then it's a bit fluctuating, but
yeah, that's the reason why I mentioned that. I will go back up and come through some of these messages here. I just watched Vince's. It's the same feeders that you've got, Rick. The Londa feeders, and they look pretty damn good. For the 6 different settings, the amount of food that they put out, like the large amount, that's quite a bit of food. But the settings, he fired each one into a bag so you could see which one it was. And I was like, that's pretty damn good. That.
Yeah, we only brought them because there was a cheap offer. We were offered them, and we were short on feeders on the farm. It's like, well, give them a crack. And to be fair, I can't knock them. We've had loads of feeders over the years that, are different. But I mean, the clockwork ones we use mainly, nearly 300 quid a piece. So you total that 40 of them, 50 of them.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, isn't it?
It's a lot of money. So, as they break down, and you just can't get the bits. They're a nightmare.
Yeah.
And what's the battery life like on them though, or can you have them powered as well?
They are battery, but we've run them for the whole season on the batteries they came with, which were cheap.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now that's pretty damn good, though.
Yeah,
that's a fair long time.
The only issue with them obviously is when the fish are feeding hard, we get them firing water back at the feeders. And obviously that water will start sticking
clogging in.
Yeah, clog them up a little bit.
Feeder, but for general ponds and whatever, you could set up to avoid that.
Yeah, just put it a bit higher.
Fish spread, I mean, they are cheap and cheerful to a degree, but they're actually quite good.
Yeah.
So,
nice one, Vince.
It's just one of those. If they work like that, and if they've got an issue with, like I say, moisture coming back from the fish, you can put them up higher or whatever. The way they open is wrong. In my head's wrong because they open from the front, and obviously the front's facing the pond.
Yeah.
So you're the wrong side of the feeder to deal with it.
Yeah.
You could easily sort of have it on a swinging arm, so you could swing it and open it, or there's lots of things you can do. But I for what they are pretty good.
Is there any way of fixing them into a place somewhere so that they can't be? I know Vince said he were going to put like a little bracket or something so that you can stop
they
it from
fixed
being...
got feet, so you can fix them onto.
What about base wise down and into something? Because
so they're fixed onto. We've got them fixed onto like platforms going out over the pond, so they spray out over the pond. But they're fixed, so it's just a bit of a pain. They need to be on a swinging platform, so you can open it and adjust them and check the food and. Yeah.
So we just my luck that dog will run in garden, knock it in pond, and I'll have a whole half a bag of koi food just floating around at top of pond.
To be honest, the way they work, you could have it set up above your door of your shed almost or something, because they'd fire it out across the pond.
What's it spread like?
Not too wide, but
it fires it a long length.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
so you can almost have it up by the shed somewhere on a platform that you can reach and deal with.
I love the family. There is a family gang of magpies round our way though. They're a bunch of shits, man. There's like 9 of them. If I put it on top of shed next to where bird feeders are, they'll be up there causing havoc with it. I can guarantee you.
But that's just one of those, isn't it? You each to their own place, or whatever.
Yeah. I thought about putting it on top of the big flat rock, or where my flow is, and so if it hit the water there, then it'd flow in and move down, disperse down pond with the flow as well. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
They're good then.
Yeah, I think
Let's
I might
see
try.
what I missed. Sorry, go on. You were saying, Daz. I
No,
was
so-
just meaning I'll see what I've missed in comments.
I think I'll try one of them this season.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been umming and ahhing about feeders. But
These are-
same as you. Just get one that's good, that's reliable.
These are simple, mate. You have a time.
Yeah.
You have a dial that you twist from 1 to 6. That's it.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, they are
That
some of
sounds,
Real
that sounds
simple.
perfect for me. Keep it simple, stupid.
I weren't meaning it like that, but that one that you had that we were looking at,
Yeah. Oh, you need to be a bloody rocket scientist to work out how to program.
just to
the
read the
damn thing.
manual. Never mind setting it up and converting it over. That was a bit of a complicated
Yeah.
one. Right, we've got. I have missed. I'll try to catch back up again. George says, liking the new sign, guys. Thank you very much. Christmas present from Bubble and Fins. Thank you, Vicky. Bubble and Fins says next week is metallics. So right, so we can get it in the beginning so everybody knows. Send us in your pictures of your metallics. You want, but I could do that little one, couldn't I? Proper well.
Yes.
I thought I'm actually. Well, some of you might have seen it. Between us lot, we have little competitions between ourselves. Me and Jeff this year had a competition between us to grow one of Daz's asagis each, and Jeff cheated and put heat in his pond right at the end of the season and beat me 20. But bearing in mind they were both 7 cm when we got them, and I've got mine to 27 cm, which I'm pretty pleased with that. To say we're in a smaller pond and unheated.
Sounds like better than me.
That's a fair bit of growth to it. And Jeff managed to get his to 33 cm, but I were in the lead right up to that point where he changed the goalpost, picked him up and moved him to the side and said, "Oh, we're going heated." I completely forgot we were in a competition. And then at the end of the season, like, it goes, "Hey, have you remembered? Have we done a measure up? Let's do a measure up now live while you're live on Sunday from the cow shed." You, Jeff. You made me look a knob by beating me hands down. But they both turned out, Daz. I will say this, mate. They are both. Mine's got a tiny little bit of catpox on its tail, but I mean it's cold in it, so I'm not also fussed about that. But other than that, it is a lovely little asagi. It's nice. We just need to get McGinn Rim one now from New Forest up to a similar sort of size, and that'll be jobs are good. Be well happy with them too.
Put it in the fish tank with the others.
I was tempted to. That's the thing, Daz. I netted it up when I brought in that one, and when I netted it up and I had them both in the net side by side each other, the one from Rick's was double its size, and I thought I can't put that in there.
Yeah, it has
If that's twice as big as it, it's not going to get that little one's not going to get no looking on food. So I thought I'll just bring that one in, and now I'm pretty sure that the lemon arawaki is bigger than the one outside. 5 weeks at 26 to 27 degrees, depending on how warm it gets in your fruit day. And it's at 12 cm from 7 cm in 5 weeks.
Yeah, it's good, that is.
6 weeks on Sunday, and I'm hoping that I can get it to 13 cm. And it's been doing a cm a week.
I'm going to put 1,500 fish in my fish tank.
That's the thing. A centimetre a week's what you should do, but what are you going to do with it?
I don't know. I don't know. Jeff's already said the same thing. Because Dad's given me another. He said, "Well, you can't just have it in on your own. Take another 4." And then he says, "No, take another 5. Take one of these from Adam Byers as well. Try see what you can do with that. See what that grows into me." Well, that one started off about 6-7 cm as well, and already is like 11 cm. It's about that much smaller than the lemon arawaki. It's only been in 2 weeks. It's already caught the damn thing up. So. That one's grown real fast.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be screwed, aren't I? Come summer months or spring, I'm going to have to move some of them out, or
I'm
going to have to get another tank.
In the tank,
Put them in the bath.
But yeah. So there we go. Metallic fish next week, guys. If you can send us in your pictures and your of all types of metallics, no matter what they are, what type of fish they are. Let's see let's see them all. Let's see if we can. I mean, unless anybody wants to come on this evening or wants to pick a different type of fish, then I think next week, as in the metallics, will be the last one. DT said, please don't forget to hit the like button, please. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate it. Gary Webb says, if koi appreciation is ending, you could do pond appreciation next. That's what the Sunday live from the filter shed is basically us to be able to have or for people to come along. But if people want to do it on here and do it live as well, I know Dave from DT Koi did try and see if he could get people to do a pond appreciation on his, and I don't really think it got much of a response. But that's what the Sunday fortnightly live is, as join me live from the filter shed while I'm doing my bits and bats, filter cleans and having a natter with everybody. People can come on, join and show, and have been coming on and showing their koi ponds, which has been pretty cool. I really enjoyed doing it that way. So yeah, it's worth thinking about, guys, 100%. Life Around says, hello everyone, glad to be back at work, earning money for the aquatic family. Glad to be back at work, mate. I would have been glad to have another fortnight off, that is for sure.
Oh no.
Oh,
I can't take more than about 3 days off.
Oh, but sit down, relaxing, eating good food, cheese and crackers, alcohol and all that lot, just relaxing on sofa. Yeah, damn right. I'd have had another 2 weeks
doing that.
Brilliant, that. Brilliant.
Everything starts to ache. I feel 10 times worse.
I've got to admit, Daz, I did a first day back, carrying my toolbox up and down a couple of flights of stairs, man. My calf muscles were burning. I thought, God damn. 2 weeks sitting on your ass, that's what it does to you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, let me know what you think if anybody's interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it has been mentioned before. Unfortunately, Mr. Webb, you can't take the Pond Appreciation Trophy because Mr. DT, our Dave from DT Coys, Saturday Night Live, did turn around and ask people if they would like to do it on his live first. So if Dave's not got an issue with it, I would much rather it, if he did come up with the idea first, so I'd much rather it went through on his channel if we were going to do that kind of thing beforehand. Koi bottom appreciation. Yeah, we could do that. Do a quick walkthrough. Yeah, pond and fillers. Yeah, that's it's not a bad idea, to be fair. But
you only want one a week then, didn't you, really?
Yeah, that's what ideally you could have 15 people send you in a little 10-minute clip or so, and you can, or 15-minute clip or so, 10-minute clip or so, whatever, and play that through for everybody to watch, seeing everybody's ponds, filters, and how they work and how they go through it all. I think that could gives you all something to sit back and watch collectively together.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
It is.
Mr. Tate says, evening everyone, looking forward to the new koi season. I certainly am, mate.
Evening, Alan.
Roll on spring, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Good
start.
Your season started already, has it?
Yeah, of course it has.
Has it already going?
Yeah. Never stops, does it?
No.
Well, I don't know, mate. You see, this is your industry. It's not some. I mean, my work drops off at this time of year because everything gets a lot more difficult to do because it's raining and external works outside tend to drop off. But I'm guessing not in the koi scene then.
Well, it does, but yeah, we've got so much to do that it's the list just does my head in too much. Yeah.
Well, now you've got even more with the damage as well then to put.
Yeah, it's a mad scramble to get that winter work done before
about the new tunnel.
Spawning.
Yeah, well, the tunnels would be going up somewhere.
Have you cleared a siding? Have you cleared a siding for the camping parties at the week? For a couple of weeks worth of work and what have you? When people want to come down and labour for a couple of weeks.
Hotel on site for everyone. Yeah,
we're just bivvying it for 2 weeks.
Why wouldn't you?
We could do, couldn't we? Barbecue, bivvies and beers for 2 weeks solid.
Plans to me.
It'd be a mountain of cans about 6 foot high.
Yeah.
That's a lot of hot dogs and sausages and burgers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very healthy.
Can I ask a question? How are the, whatever you chose to call them, we called them the Hornets because we got attacked on that day. How are they doing?
To be honest, I've not seen them
since we last did.
Yeah, because they went up the road to the fish house, didn't they? So they went off to another pond, and then they've gone up the fish house. Cole tends to look after the fish house, so I'll blame him.
Blame him, because them are going to look. That we were saying about what we thought might be. Now then, there's a question for you, right? A question for the audience. And then I'm going to have to catch up right quick and scroll back up. So the last one that I were up to was Good Shout Out by Gaz, or Koi Bottom Appreciation, because I'll have to scroll to the bottom. What do you think this year's fish is going to be? You know, like there's been, you know, the golden
monkey, and
etc., etc., Black Zeus. What do you think this season's fish will be out of Japan, UK, wherever it's coming from? What do you think?
I don't think it's ever the fish. It's the market, and it's never the actual fish, is it?
Well,
all the fish have always been there.
Yeah,
basically.
but there seems to be
markets.
something that most people seem to flock towards, don't they? Like the golden.
So to be honest,
where the market pushes and leads to them.
It's,
what do you
it's
think?
Ricky and Koi Wholesale, isn't it, with his stuff. So if they push something, it will become the thing, because he's the best marketplace at present in the country. For
Do you reckon? So we'll have to ask Mr. Stoddart what's going to be this season's things. Well, if that's the case, then it's going to be Goshikis, isn't it? Because he's just put them out on his live this evening. On his, he's pushing some Goshikis through this time, isn't he? Doing some Goshikis.
But that's the thing, that he's invested very heavily in the whole YouTube, social media, and it pays, doesn't it? There's no question if he pushes something,
100%.
before you know it, it goes down the line and people start talking about it.
Yeah.
Be it positive or negative, it creates a stir and an interest. So, you know, every variety that's been big has been there for numerous years. It's not new. It's not different. It's just gets talked about because it gets advertised, and it gets space on.
Yeah. So what do you think? Right. Question another one then. We were talking about this yesterday night, Daz.
Yeah.
The Black Zeus.
Yeah.
Is the Black Zeus just a Ginrin Matsukawa Baka?
No, it's a Komomryu.
It's a Kumon.
Yeah. So he's basically we did something a few years ago, which was crossing a Matsukawa back and a Komomryu, and you create normal scaled Matsukawa back, Ginrin, non-Ginrin. You can create Ginrin Deutz, and they've done it on a much better and more pronounced stage with better starting points.
And so
bigger
fish as well.
You get the Black Zeus, which is a Komomryu, and then the Black Diamond, which are the Matsukawa back, which is the same. I can't say 100%, but chances are they're from the same spawn, and you just got normal scale ones and Deutz ones, and some are Ginrin. So, and then it comes down to the grading and whatever. But the difference is ours. If you get ours to 60, 65 cm,
whereas theirs are going to grow to
whereas
average killer whale.
Yeah, a different structure to start with, but it's the same plan, and that's what breeders do. They'll have a little plan and they'll do something, and some people pick it up and run with it, and some people it doesn't take off.
See, because the yellow monkey is just a Ginrin Karashigo, isn't it?
Again, it is, but it's from parents that have got structure.
But primarily it's set breeders or your
it's a
Super Mangoes is just a mango Karashigoi.
But they all come from the Konishi. Konishi started the giant Karashigoi line, and then other people have gone from that, be it Sakai, Dainichi, and they tweak it.
Put their own spin into it.
But what makes it famous is the advertising, the amount of people that talk about it, the amount of, if you get one to become immense, then you've got a starting point. Same as a golden corn. You've got, that wasn't advertised or pushed until they had some good big examples, and then suddenly it's, there's a couple of American sites a couple of years ago about the golden corn that are pretty good, Mystic Koi and whatever, and it's not something that's been. It's new. It's just new to perhaps most people in this country, just because it suddenly appeared on Ricky's channel or YouTube, or people talk about it. Then you search it, there it is.
So,
same with the Snow Saga. They've been around for a while, but
they're a lot rarer. They're like this Snow Saga.
You don't see good big examples. Because do they exist? They might, but
you don't see monstrous ones of them, do you?
No.
Not even when you go to shows, you might see a 50, 60
I guess
cm.
50 cm is about the biggest I've seen.
Yeah, you don't see how huge, do you? Like you do your average single colours would be.
Yeah.
There we go. Question there. Koi Boy. I'm currently holding my grow-on tank outside between 22 and 23 with 2 aquarium heaters. Will my koi still grow at the speed I would like them to? What speed would you like them to grow at? We don't know. If you want them to grow super fast, they're not going to grow as fast because the optimum temperature is 24 to 26 degrees, is it? I believe.
Depends on the age of the fish, but no, there's a lot of misconception about that. To be fair,
is there?
For young fish, I'd probably give 30 degrees as a better temperature.
Wow, I would tempted to. I've lowered mine down, so I could have left it at 28 then.
The problem is the oxygen levels become an issue. 24 is a magic number for the bacteria, for your filters. That's where it comes from. So your fish will grow really quickly at 24 degrees, but your filters work really well. The oxygen levels, it's a nice point.
Yeah, everything's balanced.
I've been really surprised just how much a small koi will eat. I mean, an average frozen block of bloodworm is probably about 2 cm square cube. And it nailed it. It hit the water, melted a little bit. The clown loach come along and took a couple of little pieces off it. It seen clown loach with it in its mouth, swam straight over to it. Bearing in mind, 5 weeks ago, it was hiding from the clown loach. He stole it straight off its mouth and yammed a lot in one go. And then come back and did another one of a block of mysis and just ate them. Like it or no, just 1.5 blocks.
Those foods are mostly water, so if you're going to go down the realms of working out food conversion rates and digestibility, so like a live food, so you're putting that bloodworm in, and you think, he's eating a lot.
That's
90%
the size
water.
of what it was.
yeah, that's 90% water. So that actually is, whereas a pellet, a good quality pellet.
That's what I'd done. I'd already put in like 30, 40 pellets, and that didn't last seconds. So I thought I'll just put them a bit of frozen in, and then about an hour later I fed them another 30 odd pellets. I think I can't. I've just literally all I've done all this Christmas is just get up and put food in that tank, and I'm thinking my water quality in this is going to be shocking. It's going to be real bad. So I thought I'll give it a quick test overnight, and it's cock on. Absolutely brilliant, perfect. Nothing's wrong at all. It's just perfect. But it is a mature tank.
The way you do it, guys, you work out the weight of fish you got in your aquarium is 100 grams or whatever, and you're feeding them 20 grams a day, whatever it is, and your fish outside, even in the summer, you've got 5 kilos of fish, and you're feeding them 100 grams. You're already so far apart in. Yeah, wondering why the little fish in the tank are doing a centimetre.
Yeah, that's what. This is what got us onto the conversation. This is what I mean. I know everybody's always said it's about the feed, but until I wanted to do it just for the experiment, just to see. I've seen Vince do it. I've seen other people grow them on. I'm thinking like Tony's doing it with his, and you look at size and you think, Jesus Christ, they've grown rapid. And then when you start banging food in and the right side of you all the time, I'm not feeding my fish in my pond nowhere near enough. And I've been thinking I've been overfeeding. And these lot are all going, man, you feed them again. You wait this summer, Daz. I'm going to be washing some food in that pond. It's going to get some. They're getting some food this year. I've not fed them nowhere near enough. So there's no wonder I've only got the minimum growth out of them.
Yeah. I'm probably the same.
You can't just up the feed because if the temperature.
No. I mean, I've got to gradually build it up. I've got to work that up there. I've got to let the filters catch up with it and everything. I'm not just going to start thinking, well, there's one shovelful. Have that.
Yeah.
But it really has been a bit of an eye-opener.
But I'm going to up the food on mine, but I'm going to put moving beds on both of them as well.
Yeah. It's been a bit of an experiment for us, Daz, hasn't it? We were both well, pretty surprised.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Going back to the question at 22, 23 degrees or whatever, how old are the koi? How big are the koi? And how quick does he want them to grow? That's
so what we need to know. How old the koi? How many? And how quick do you want them to grow? We'll see if he comes see if he comes back to us, because he can't really from that. Yeah, there's elements missing to give you the expert's advice.
The problem is to hold a tank at 23 degrees with 2 aquarium heaters, it's probably only a metre cube tank.
Yeah.
So in reality, the size of the fish is, well, yeah, there's so many variants in that I can't.
Yeah.
The thing is, a centimetre a week in growing conditions is kind of standard for the first year of their life. So
yeah.
So you've got 6 months to
when
grow.
you think about that, that's a 50 centimetre fish at a year old. No one does that because you can't have the right conditions. You can't have that space. It's almost impossible. But when they're small, you can do it fairly comfortably.
Yeah.
But it gets
If that
harder
keeps
and
growing
harder.
at that rate, then like that, I'm going to end up with like a 35, 40 cm fish by spring.
That's where that's the problem. So what you can't.
That's the way we're going to have the issue.
Yeah, I think the growth may have to slow down a bit.
Yeah.
But before that, those 6 fish in the tank are going to need a kilo of food a day, which you can't do. So you hit so many barriers.
Yeah, I'm going to get to a point where I can't be there to feed them that much anyway. I just put them at half a kilo in the morning and half a kilo on a night, and just leave them a mound to work through fruit day.
Honestly, we were laughing. We did my Munga tunnel, and it's like, I'm going to put 40 fish back, 40 toes, toes at 25 centimeters into a 40-ton pond, and it's like nothing, is it? But that's the only way they can achieve a centimeter a week for all of those fish.
Yeah.
So they soon fill it. It's insane. You put them back, and it's like it's empty.
I've got to admit, mate, I was rather surprised to see the difference from when you return them fish to what they came out at end.
But that's the only way of doing it. And that's why bigger fish cost so much money, because of the space you need.
Yeah.
So hopefully, mate, if you get back to us with those little bits, I'll see if you put out in the bottom there. Let's have a quick look.
Yeah, you were saying about Ashley Dart asking the question. I'm assuming it was about the quarantine being scrapped and everything.
Let me bring it up. Topic you'd like us to talk is maybe what precautions there is out there for private buyers now importers and dealers don't have to officially declare KHV anymore. Outbreaks from April 2024.
It's mad, but
What can we do as a consumer, as a buyer?
Exactly what you should be doing anyway.
Quarantine
And buying from people you trust.
Yeah.
Buying from people you trust, quarantine, and if you can, heat ramping as well, I would imagine.
If you can, yeah.
If you can. I mean, there's not many people that have got that, but if you've got the capabilities with a heat source, if you could heat ramp them in a quarantine system before you put them in, you'd know that they were right and safe and they were good beforehand. Introducing. But
that's the
hopefully
thing.
you're
If you're buying
purchasing from
from
somebody that's
trusted
doing
dealers,
that. They should be already doing it on your behalf, shouldn't they?
and the farms they're buying from, so it all comes back to traceability, and just the whole industry. If the whole industry worked like that, it'd be fine, but it doesn't, because someone will see, there's fish from Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore coming in cheap. I can buy that 40 centimeter fish at 10 quid. I can sell it for 200 quid. I buy a box of them, shift them off quick, and there's another bomb gone. And that's the problem. And CFAS and DEFRA they haven't got the inspectors, and the KHV is now, they call it endemic. It's so widespread that, how can 12, they don't even got 12, probably 10 inspectors now for the whole country.
Cool.
Check everything out. And it's not just ornamental fish, that's the whole
trout and salmon and everything, yeah.
Sea fish, seafoods, all shebang. It's
drop in the ocean, isn't it?
So, it comes back to exactly the same thing. You buy from people you trust. Those people you trust buy from trusted sources, and you generally eradicate these diseases like ulcers and stuff. If a farm hasn't got that problem, and you buy it, you don't have that problem. It's only when you buy from different sources that suddenly these things occur, and then they get spread around.
Do you think it'll affect the importing of as many fish from overseas?
No, I think it'll have absolutely no difference. And to be fair, when KHV first come about, we went to a meeting at CFAS, their main, to discuss the whole thing 20 years ago when it first sort of came about, and they openly admitted that it was coming from everywhere at the time, and they've got no way of restricting imports from those places. So
really nothing's really changed then, has it? Really,
nothing's changed. At the end of the day, nothing.
Just made an official title for it and saying, "Oh, ta-da! On so and so day, it's now not going to have to be declared."
The only people that would ever have affected being, like a disease, would be like us as a farm. We'd get shut down until we're sterilised. But a shop, to say it's in that tank, that's that done. They can carry on trading, whereas we couldn't as a farm. So we were, as farms and importers and whatever, were much more restricted than certain other people. But in reality, nothing will change. It's all about money. That's always going to be the bottom line. And if you can buy fish from Japan that you know are safe at 200 quid a fish, you can buy fish from somewhere else that's a tenth of the price, but it was a bit of a gamble.
Yeah,
someone will buy them and someone will sell them. And that's Yoshiki guys spent a lot of money getting themselves certified KHV free, SVC free, so they can fish to the UK. But kind of that now is a bit of a nonsense because they could ship them anyway, and they could have shipped them anyway. They just couldn't have. You can't even. We're not even allowed to say we're KHV free. We can't. That statement, even though we were checked, isn't something that DEFRA would support because we didn't have it when they checked us. It doesn't mean we didn't have it over there or whatever. It just means every time they've checked us, we've come back negative, and have done ever since. It doesn't mean we can then turn around and say, "Oh, we're KHV free." It will make, in my mind, zero difference because the industry, some people will follow rules and some people will take shortcuts, and that's
live though, isn't it?
Every industry, that's just everything.
Quick question for you there, Rick. Can you tell us what type of fry will be available this year? Little ones, about that big.
I don't know, to be honest. There's things in the pipeline. There's fish we want to spawn. There's stuff we want to do, but
there is a certain one you can definitely say.
Is there? Well, no, there's stuff we're going to do, but I don't know. They don't necessarily
mean that they want that particular ones.
So,
nothing certain, is it?
Yeah, there's stuff we plan to do. The stuff we plan to do with Vince. The stuff I want to do personally. The stuff we do for a business. But it only takes an otter to eat some of a fish next week, and I can't do that.
Yeah.
Or fish not to spawn, and until
what is your favourite type to spawn? What's your favourite fry to work with? Have you got one?
A favourite, to be fair, and to be honest, something different.
Something different. So if you can produce something different, that's more exciting than.
Yeah, every time I do a new parent combination is be it even if it Sankey's from a new farm or a new bloodline or a cross or whatever. If it's something new, there's much more interest up to the point where it's not very good. When it loses, it's like,
are you interested?
That was really interesting, right? To point to the old look shit.
That's the love of it, and that's the whole point of why you do different stuff. And
maybe you don't know though, do you? Till you give it a go, do you? You don't know till you try it.
No, 100%. And I get surprised pretty much every year with one combination or another that is better than
what you
I ever thought it would be. and then probably another half a dozen that are a lot worse than you expect. Because doesn't matter, you always see the positives in parents.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily the
You think, how the hell does that shit fish come from that brilliant parent stock?
Yeah, to be fair though, Daz, you had some real nice stuff come out of your flock spawns, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
And that were just
really
random
think I
fish
should
that
have stuck
just
with
did
that.
what nature wanted to do. But
Yeah.
The trouble with flock spawns is you could have a really good year, but you've got no idea which fish produce what.
exactly, that's exactly what we found.
Then you've got no way of increasing
which
the
one
good
made
ones.
that?
Yeah.
That's the only trouble in it.
And then one male doesn't get involved next year, and it's completely different.
Yeah.
So, by doing it as we do individually, it does. It highlights the bad points and it highlights the good points.
Yeah.
But it just takes time. And then sod's law is when you do get the right combination, something happens to a parent. And
Yeah. It does. Tell me about it.
Question there is, I'm currently feeding 3mm wheat germ from New Forest as fish are looking for food. Should I be changing back to New Forest staple?
if you're happy on there's very little difference between the staple and the wheat germ in terms of digestibility, phyto. No bother. If they're looking for it, if they're happy, if they're looking good, carry on.
There we go.
Just going to have to investigate this present I've just been handed.
That did. Oh, awesome! That's one of the best. Yeah, should be able to
Just dropped in my lap.
post them through. And Dave says there, you've said it now, Gaz. Thanks. It's going to be super cold. So, you can blame me. I might as well get blamed for everything else. And just for, I'll touch on this, Vince, just so we can do, mate. Just so everybody knows, me and Vince are still friends. We are still speaking and we are still talking. He has said that he will be popping on from time to time. He just chose to do what he did. So for all those that are out there thinking, you and Gaz not talking anymore. Yes, we are regular throughout all of Christmas and even this evening. So, yeah, nothing to be worried about. Nothing for anybody to be concerned about. Oh, what was that? Was that a bit of whiskey?
No, it's beer, but
Beer. Oh.
I've had a long day, mate. I've been having a few. I don't do whiskey.
It just looked. It didn't have a white head on the top like normally you'd expect.
Nasty stuff.
But
Good
yeah,
for liking
everything's
fires
cool.
with.
We're cool.
As far as I know, anyway. And Vince said the same thing to me the other day. So.
Don't know.
Daz, apparently they're 1,000 times easier to try setting up than the Superfish auto feeder.
Yeah.
That sounds more like it. That's what we want.
He's going back to the fish feeders, is he?
So, I'm catching up really. Darren Joyner asked, could they feed an IBC tank?
No, you feed too much.
Feed too much, even on the lowest setting.
As long as your filter's as big as the IBC tank. If you got 1,000 litres of K1 going next door, that's the thing in it. The filtration is kind of key. Well, it's not kind of key, it is key. If you've got an IBC with fishing and then you've got 1,000 litres or running it, you could probably get away with it.
See, Cabby's put in there, I hope you tie them down better than your lanterns go. That's exactly what I'm meaning, mate. Because I've filled those lanterns with water to make them heavier. They still blew in. So
the feeders have got screw holes in the bottom. You can screw them down.
Oh, there we go. I can screw bolt it down into the finger then. Right, sweet. We're all good then. All Pond Solutions auto feeding, £90, holds 6 kg, 6 feeds from 1 seconds to 20 seconds. I really rate them. There is better out there, but for 90 quid they work well. Is that battery powered, Danny, or is that power fed?
I think they're battery as well. I think they're very similar feeders, to be fair. All coming from China.
If they do a job for 90 quid,
Doesn't everything?
It's not, is it really? Compared to some of them.
Yeah, I think for most ponds you don't need a feeder. I don't get why a lot of people have feeders, because the main joy of having a koi pond is to feed them, innit?
Yeah, exactly.
Dr. Kempo says, "Hey Rick, Gaz does. Any more of the 250 fry available? Or
Not
you
yet.
sold out?
Early.
You sold out before you even spawned them." I don't know, mate. I don't know. I'm guessing that's going to be part of the we're in on that, Daz.
Yes, definitely.
We've got to do some of that.
We've got two tanks full of Daphne all ready to go for them.
We were talking about getting a batch and splitting them and putting them, down at the bottom of Daz's, I don't know if you've seen videos, Rick, but down at the bottom of Daz's koi farm, there's a couple of pools that we put in and we got loads of live, Daz got loads of live.
Yeah, there's 6 foot by 12 foot, two of them.
We were thinking about splitting them and putting 125 in each one.
Yeah, but you could have a batch each.
See, you said, that's what you said.
Yes.
That's what Daz said. But the thing is, I'd have to ask Mrs. Whitehead, which is Darren's mum, to run down there 12 times a day to feed him so I can beat him.
Yeah, but you don't feed them. You allowed to. They feed themselves.
There's not having any insider trading.
No. You didn't. Hang about. If Jeff can change the rules by putting heaters on his pond, I can get your mum to feed him on my behalf if I so wish, or I can persuade her to.
By springtime, there should be enough live food in there to keep them going for about 6 months.
If we do for like what we did last time, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's loads of Daphne whizzing around already in there. They're breeding at a fair old rate, yeah.
Oh, mate, you got to dump it, start again. Oh no, that's it. See, that's the problem. To get it just right, you need to start.
Yeah,
you need the babbies, don't you? You need the tiny ones, don't you, for when they're small, because you can't eat the
critical.
adult ones.
They get the timing right for the size of the Daphne.
In March, I'm cleaning ponds out like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't believe, because we got to go through them, sterilise them all. So any that have got no fishing left now, you think they'd be full of Daphne, but they're no good for fry.
Because they're all too big.
It's too big. Too many big. Yeah, so you've got to start.
Yeah. Well, what I've got this year, I've got an awful lot of Cyclops, which are smaller than Daphne. I don't know why. I bleached the tanks. I think the bleach killed the Daphne and didn't kill the Cyclops.
Yeah, they're different tolerances, different. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know whether that'll fare better for the fry.
Bleach didn't. We put. You won't believe. I know. This probably got us a few people. We probably pissed a few people off with these, but they're ugly little bastards anyway. To be fair, dragonfly larvae. We put 3/4 of a bottle of bleach in one of those tiny little tanks. It was more bleach than water. And
it didn't even rub his eyes, did it? It was just like, yeah. Is that the best you've got?
Didn't do out to him. Nothing.
Yeah, but they won't. That's the problem. It's just we got to drain them, clean them out.
They're ugly.
The bigger the thing you're trying to kill, the less bleach will work, whatever. So, yeah. Rotifers and Daphne are super sensitive to any type of pollution. Dragonfly larvae, diving beetle larvae are
double hard bastards, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
They are.
Especially when you crush them with your boot.
They're definitely double hard bastards. They didn't like it at all, but they just sat in there laughing at us through glass.
Yeah, I had to completely drain every single tank just to get rid of the sods in the end.
But yeah, that's what you got to do. Literally.
The ginger pond keeper. You're going to have to come on and join us one evening, mate. One of these evenings. You're going to have to come on and have a natter with us. Some ponds look different, stroke better, depending on the season. So maybe better in the summer.
I would have said that
as well, mate. At the moment, my garden looks like a...
Yeah, it looks miserable, doesn't it, in the winter? Most of them do.
Yeah. I'd agree with that, mate, yeah. So, yeah, maybe more of a seasonal thing, too.
Yeah.
It's very true. Mine all look terrible.
Give over, Mr. Webb. Didn't know DT was, as I don't watch his channel. You've been saying you're never coming back here for months, but you keep coming back week in, week out. I don't watch. Yes, you do. Pull over what? It's not Christmas anymore. I can't say pull over one. It's got bells on. We've got there. Next one. I'm sure I've just been seeing a couple of...
Would you not be better doing a running theme? Like, what's your nagging problem with your pond? Because yours might be leaves blocking a pipe or a filter or a nexus cleaning. and everyone will have the same problem, wouldn't they? And how you deal with it. How do
Well,
you deal with your drum filter error in because it's cleaning too often? Or...
It really needs to be something that the public put forward as a topic, though, because it's at the end of the day, it's them that's going to be either learning from it or wanting to see it.
Every pond's got a. What would you change about it? Or what is the one thing you don't like about your pond? Because it's a pain in the bum. I can't go on holiday because I've got to clean the screen on this, or I've got to purge that, or I've got to. And there'll be 100 other people out there with exactly the same problem. So someone might have a fix.
And some people with the answer to it, hopefully.
Well,
It's a bit late, and she's just turning up.
Yeah, never mind. Better late than never. Tamasabbers. That's going to be the big one.
Yeah.
Long fin Tamasabbers. Yeah. Guy Karma says Happy New Year, Rick, Gaz and Daz. Thank you very much, mate. Happy New Year to yourself. Hope you all had a good Christmas and everything.
Hope he's got himself fit and ready to do some more work.
We could do goldfish appreciation.
Goldfish appreciation.
All the different varieties of goldfish.
What's that there? Rick will get my fish before you go on holiday. Oh, Rick, will I get my... Rick.
Nicely changed the subject there, Gaz.
Yes, straight out there. Will I get my fish before you go...
If you want it.
If you want it.
I'm not going to April, Jesus. I'm not going to bring it.
Oh, right. We thought you were going early. We thought you were... When Aaron got back, we thought you were nicely going. So, like,
me and Aaron tag team at the airport.
Tagged.
No, March. Sorry, maybe. I don't know when I'm going. It's not my call, is it?
He's going at some point, but Jeff, you can get him when you want him. By the sound of it, mate. So I give him a bell.
You can have it next week.
Have him next week. There you go, mate. Sweet.
Just a temperature.
Yeah, again, there. If you could, please, guys, that'd be brilliant. Caps for any questions or any discussions or topics. There has been some from Dale that's been message retracted, and again message retracted. So I won't read them out, mate. If you didn't want them. Aquaticness says, "Hi, guys. Thank you very much for joining us, and Happy New Year to you and your husband. I hope you had a lovely Christmas. Oh, well, no, it'd be Thanksgiving and all that lot, won't it, for yourselves? A Christmas.
Glad to hear it, Mickey. Goldfish fan. Goldfish fan. Yeah.
See, I don't mind goldfish.
There's two of us out there.
I don't mind goldfish. I do think that a lot of people do call them a poor man's koi, which is your shububkin. I think shububkins are real pretty, to be fair. And there's some in them that can be equally as nice as a good koi.
Yeah.
They just don't grow as big. Not as. I'm not saying as nice, but some of them have got some real nice patterns to them and can be.
Yeah, the Bristol shububkins are nice.
Yeah,
they're really nice.
They're nice in their own way, aren't they? But there's not the refinement or the. Yeah.
No, because
the levels of koi and koi appreciation and the whole.
They don't receive the same attention, do they?
Variety is just different. But then when you go into the worlds of fancy goldfish and panda rounders and blackmores and
yeah,
there's plenty of crazy stuff out there if you want that.
Yeah. Oh, we want crazy stuff. Yeah.
Right. Koi Boy's pond is only 3 foot by. I'm not saying only. It says only there, so I'm not meaning it in that sense. Only 3 foot by 3 foot and 3 foot deep. The koi are around 6 to 7 months old. How many koi have you got in there, mate?
3 foot or 3. Yeah, so that's an IBC.
3 foot by 3 foot by 3 foot deep, so it's a cube.
It's an IBC type meter cubes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where two. Yeah. So 2 aquarium.
And they're around 6 to 7 months old, but we don't say how many. So. And Vince says we've got 38 names for the show and grow with a difference. Well, that's. I hope if not, Vince, I'll have to put it on where it needs to go. I know it's got to go on the video in question, but me and Daz will be jumping on that, mate, as well.
Yeah.
Well, I will be getting some.
We were limited to 50, I think, but the inquiries I might have to go up to. The trouble is, I've got to guarantee the fry all in the same week from the same parent set, delivered to
That's
everyone.
all right. If anything goes wrong, me and Dad will just have a pick of his own fry from anywhere else. How's that?
Yeah,
Just make it a little
that's
bit
fair.
easier for you. Pick it from your best stuff.
It could be looking, I could have to deliver 20,000 fry to 100 different people in a 72-hour period.
Shit, man.
So that's where it starts getting complicated.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, so obviously you've got to limit it because it's going to get crazy.
No pressure.
with none of my other stuff going on. Just
and especially counting out 250 fry per bag as well.
That's easy, mate. That's the easy bit.
Yeah, I know how you do it too. It's like, there you go.
That's easy.
That's 3,500 in that bag at right. Just send it. But the thing I like about that though, and I said to Vince about it as well, the thing I do like about it is the fact that you got to go through all that lot. You got to go through all those fish. You've got to grow them. You've got to grade them. You've got to pick them. And out of all those fish that you had, you're only allowed to enter one. And I think that's brilliant. I think that's it. I think it's really going to.
One left alive.
Well, you might, but you might end up with having
giant Toby.
You might end up with 50 that are really nice that you would like to enter all 50 of. But how do you know if it's going to be good enough to win? Because you don't know what anybody else is going to be entering.
How many people, when they order fry, actually count to see how many they've got?
I can tell you, my dad did from Cuttlebrook Koi Farm.
Yeah,
he counted them all, and he went, "Oh, we've got 4 extra."
Yeah,
he literally counted them. Oh, well, Dad, we're going to be here all day.
Yeah. No, to be fair, we always do. We always put about 10% extra in, just because you deliver 500 fry to someone, and they'll go, but there's one short. Everyone's caught in the corner.
Yeah,
and you're like, well, that's fine because you got 550, so you got 549 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is one of those things. It allows people just to start at the earliest point they can and develop them, and you will get some people that take 200 that big at the end of the year, and you have other people that have 100 1 centimetre fish at the end of the year, whatever, because environment, it's all about the environment.
Well, Gaz, you won't need yours grading. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put all the dragonfly larvae with yours.
We're not doing none of
that.
When we're grading, I'm going to be at one side of the garden, you're going to be at the other side. There's none of that watching and all that. This is competition time. We need a great big 6-foot fence between them so you can't be looking, and you're only allowed a spray line down on floor. You're not allowed this side of garden.
Are there any cheating?
Baggy picking the right hand side so I don't have to have the flooded side, so I can walk down the dry area to get to the bottom of the garden. You can go down the 6-inch water garden. Yeah.
Come October, Daz will have loads of colourful fish, and Gaz's will just be all the dark plain ones.
Yeah.
Split that. Oh,
yeah, but mine all have rolled gills and it'll be bent and twisted, and Gaz's will be perfect.
Look at this. Alan Tate says, have to build a grow on, enter 1,000 gallon heated.
If he can get them, they're coming at 3 weeks old, so that's the issue. It's getting them through that first hurdle. But once you get them going, that's what you need.
Yeah.
Because we're talking realistically.
Don't tell him that if he wanted me to build a bloody 10,000 gallon.
Look at that, Darren. Daz. What a 4-foot fence do, Gaz?
Bastards.
Yeah, dear me. That was harsh, but fair. Yeah, you're right, mate. Probably would do. Yeah, 4-foot fence does. It'd be cheaper, won't it? There's 18 koi, 3 foot by 3 foot by 3 foot. 23
degrees.
22 to 23 degrees.
So realistically, you should be doing 2 centimetres a month at that kind of temperature. So you multiply 18 koi by 2 centimetres, so suddenly 40 odd centimetres of extra fish every month. His tank's going to be loaded. That's the problem. That's the filtration, the food issue. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But that should be his kind of target. An inch a month.
An inch a month, and then upgrade your filter system, or cull out what you don't want, mate, and keep growing them again. Then reduce them by half. Oh, we lost Daz. Obviously, the fencing.
He's going to put his fence up, isn't he?
He's got to go build his fence.
But yeah, it's pretty simple. You could, if someone was bored enough to write down how much water, the filtration, the growth, the food, how the sort of chart would flow from your fry as they grow, and that's why, like I say, big fish cost so much money, because you can raise 1,000 fry in 500 gallons for 1 month, but then you need the same amount of water for 100 fish, 10 fish, 1 fish. So you need more space.
It's crazy, isn't it? That's the worry.
It's off the charts, absolutely off. Yeah, it's mad, and that's why we literally do all of our fish are 1 and 2 year old fish, because 3 and 4 year old fish and beyond, it just
the amount of size of a lake or grow on pond that you'd need for them then gets to a point where it's exponential again and again and again.
You don't get the money for it. To turn a 2 year old fish to a 3 year old fish, you need to gain so much more value for it, for the space it takes up, and it's just a nightmare.
I won't tell him.
Yeah. I've busted your little scheme.
Yeah.
None of that Azagari nonsense.
Alan says there, you and the panel discussed Tamasaba when said to you 5 months ago. Alan, you're almost as bad as Skeggy. Yours is as difficult sometimes to translate, by which I've got absolutely no idea what you're on about.
It's the accent, Gaz. That's what's doing it.
Go on, Alan. What do you mean by that one, mate? Me and Daz spoke. Daz spoke about doing some Tamasaba breeding, if that's what you mean.
Yeah.
He does want to have a go at doing some.
Yeah. Just get around to it.
He's got to buy some. Yeah, he has. Yeah. He's got to buy some, and then he's got to play some Barry White at the right time.
Yeah. I'm probably going to look to get some around about springtime. In time for spawning. Why is that cheating?
Well, just buy them just before you get a spawn, stick them in your pond. You'll have hundreds of little brown Tamasaba.
Yeah, well, that's the idea.
Then you got to go through that whole process, mate. Oh, I don't.
The better than that, Yama Lemon Arawaki Tamasaba. Tamasaba is shite. They're brilliant.
Got their place.
I actually do think that. I think that they're pretty cool, mate. I
like them, especially with the Kahaku pattern. I think they look nice.
Does bicarbonate of soda make koi flash when using it to raise KH? I've never found it do, mate. No.
It might do a little bit, but it shouldn't to any great extent, unless you're changing the pH from very low.
Drastically.
If you're taking a massive jump and your pH is real low and you're adding a bit in, maybe.
Yeah, but you don't want to be doing that anyway.
I've always maintained mine evening, don't I? I've always maintained mine as small amounts added each time, and it's not really had any effect that way for me. You did ask a question there, mate, didn't you? Can I collect mine for the Grow and Show with a twist, Rick?
Of course you can, Tony, because you always buy more.
I was going to read it out, mate, but I went past the next question.
No, that's all right. You went past you went past the Stapleford handicap system as well for growing on heated and unheated ponds.
I went past
right,
the what?
Mate, there's no, there's nothing about it.
Yeah. If you're growing in heated, you have to deduct 1 centimetre for every degree you are above the unheated pond.
All right. No.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you, Jeff. I won. Woohoo! I won. Yeah, we're going to deduct 1 cm for every degree, and now you're back up at 20, mate.
Yeah. No, I've been creating a shopping list, Rick.
Well, I thought there might have been another reason why you might have wanted to come down other than some fry.
Yeah.
What you after? What you wanting to get this year then, Tony?
I need a Sankey, I think. I
Speak
also
to
want.
Aaron.
I reckon Sankey's going to be this year's big fish. I reckon the majority of people's going to go after fish is going to be the Sankey.
They do seem very popular at the moment.
Yeah, they do.
And I want a nice shishui.
Budgie.
A budgie.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah. Well, I've got a very nice high shishui, but I want a shishui with that.
See, I like that. I don't mind the height.
Yeah, you want a typical shisui.
I want a typical one with a nice blue back. Yeah.
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 So I like Rick's where he has just the blue ones.
Mm.
They are
I
quite
like them, mate. I like just the blue one. Daz has got one as well, and I think to be fair, Daz, that's where yours came from, didn't it?
Probably.
A couple of years ago when you got some from Rick's.
Probably one of your fry.
I do like him. I just don't like the orange and that blue. I just don't think that kind of orange and blue goes for me. It doesn't. It's not my.
Yeah.
And no. Do you know? To be fair, for me, the newer version now with the lighter blue and the lighter orange, as opposed to that real dark blue and the orange, that put me off the old style Shisui.
Yeah, the old slate grey blue. Yeah.
But the newer ones, the lighter version ones, are far more better than what they used to be.
Yeah, especially with the large lateral splash of colour down each side. That looks really nice.
That looks nice. That.
Yeah.
I also want a snowball.
Snowball.
Snowboard.
Snowsagi.
A snowball. Yeah, a snowsagi.
Yeah, they're nice.
But, I want the perfect snowsagi,
Of course you do.
Nice skin-rin snowsagi with a lovely red fin, dorsal fin.
Well, Santa should accept nothing less.
No?
Yeah, the only one I know of, Vince has already nicked. So go pop round his head.
Alan says, you dismissed Tamasaba with a talk about them a couple of months ago. Oh, my fingers are too big for the keyboards on my iPhone. I didn't dismiss him. I've never dismissed him. I've always I've said they look comical fish. They do look.
We shall make it our mission, Gaz.
No.
Yeah, and Daz is gonna breed some. Rick will never breed him again because he's had something similar. Nearly wipe out everything in his.
He got stuck in the filter.
Tanks before got stuck in his filter.
But
I do think they are quite comical.
4-inch pipe.
The one that I thought was funny were Crafty's short that I saw the other day, and he'd put it on and he says, "What's that in the pond?" And I'm thinking, he's not in pond. Then all of a sudden, this Tamasaba swam past window. It did look quite comical.
Not for me. I mean, it's just a giant fancy goldfish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a koi is just a giant fancy carp.
It is, but if you're not into normal fancy goldfish, I'm not sure I'd be into
Anyway, you want a big one?
giant ones.
I've got a tank full of fancy goldfish, so I'm well into them.
I do like them when they look a little bit different, like that Blackmore does. That fish, that to me is it's beauty but ugly at the same time. It's a bit like a bulldog. A bulldog's an ugly dog. I don't give a monkey's what anybody says, but
around the ranchos, they've got a real cute little pudgy face about them. I just love them. The way they just wiggle. They're like the twerking, swimming along.
Anyway, I haven't seen it in the comments yet, but usually somebody would say, "Well, Tony, you breed you feed your koi like Tamasabis."
Yeah, there's not. I've got to admit, Tony, I watched the short this evening. My God, man, some of them fish in that tank have grown like stink. It's either that or your phone lens is literally against the side of the glass because they look like that big. The achiever in that tank looks massive. That looks 30 plus.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's 30, but
it's not far off.
I gave it a conservative size of about 17, 18 cm, but it may actually be closer to 20.
They look bigger than that. Those two cherry red, man. They're
the
nice.
Matsubas.
Yeah,
Matsubas are stunning.
I didn't grow them from
No,
like
but
2-3
you
week.
got them when you bought them in, aren't they?
But that Achieva is one of Ricky's 2 to 3 week fry
And the
from
Shura
June, I think.
Utsuris as well. The Shura Utsuris.
Yeah.
I got some
Yeah,
good
that
sizes.
Achieva though, I mean, it's not got your typical sort of flowery patches on it. It looks like an Achieva Asagi.
That's what it is, mate.
Yeah,
It's what it says
absolutely,
on the tin.
absolutely it is. But it's got some of the brown in the dorsal and whatnot, and I like it. It looks a really nice fish.
The Deutz is slow. You can see the. Sorry, Rick.
It was only 2 weeks out, wasn't it? So so this is where we could be getting to with your show and grow this season.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
That's another category though. Is how big can you grow a 2 to 3 week old fry in the smallest tank possible?
This is what we're going to do now, Gaz. We're going to throw them outside to start with. Then we're going to move them into the fish tanks, heated, and see how big we can get them.
Yeah. But the thing is, you've got to do is you've got to pick that fish that you think is the best one to potentially take to the end. That's the thing. You could be growing up the ugly pig, and then what?
Our main judge is now going to be entering the competition, so we need a new judge.
Oh,
but it's amazing. Trying to make your choice could be difficult because in that tank with the Achieva, there's 2 fish that's no more than 4 cm, 40 millimeters in there, and they are at the same age. And
not growing.
And there's another. There's actually a red Kajaku in there that was from the spawn in the year before. It only happens to be in there because it came up my bottom drain into the filter, and I thought, well, rather than put it back in the pond at that size, I'll put it in the tank.
But is that because those smaller fish now don't get a chance to get to that food because of the feeding voracity of the others?
Well, possibly, but they get a lot of the crumbs that those fish spit out.
The crumbs don't make you big and bulky like the rest of them that are getting all the good stuff.
The amount of food those big fish spit out is amazing.
Yeah.
Alan says,
they go back for it.
Alan says, I've got to build the pond first, Rick. Don't be backing out now. I'm pushing you. You get to stop off halfway down at Huddersfield and we'll trundle down together. We might as well car share it if you're going down all that way. It's a long slog from you up there in Newcastle all the way back down to New Forest. So we could do a bit of car sharing down and do a bit of driving with each other or something if you wanted to get something started.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a...
Don't drop that on me.
You up.
Yeah, Jeff could just swing round and pick us all up.
It's all right. It's just taking things out of the cupboard. Dangerous.
Alan says to you, Daz, I would like to have a chat with Daz. I have bred lots of different fish, but never goldfish. Same thing.
Ah, yeah.
It's all...
Talking about feeding them, though, that tank is only 50 gallons, and it gets 6 tablespoons of pellets in there a day. But the muck it creates, I mean, I don't know, Gaz, you're keeping your tank clean, but you can't keep up with mine. But it's the other thing I find is I have to change nearly 50% of the water every day.
Yeah.
I have an army of bottom feeders in the bottom of my tank that at present are keeping up to it, plus the external filter system, which is keeping up to it. But for how long that will last, I don't know. But yeah, for all the waste that's produced, there are other bottom feeders, tropical wise, that will consume some of that, even though that is kind of gross.
Yeah. So as well as the 50% water change every day, I'm having to clean those filters every other day.
Is that what you're doing? Are yours canister filters external, or have you got internal filters?
No, they're big. They're big external canisters.
Yeah.
Mm.
And now you've got to that stage that you're having to do 50% water change every other day.
Sorry, Rick.
I'm doing that every day.
Sorry. So Tony's 50-gallon tank every 2 days is a whole new whole new tank, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I
Yeah.
grew them in this tank, but
Yeah.
actually, 25,000
Yeah.
gallons of water to do it.
Yeah. Oh, it does. There's lots of water goes through it.
You are on the extreme, mate.
Yeah. I want something a bit. I have got a bigger tank, but it's heat in it.
Well, yeah.
Aranda Ranchu goldfish are my favourites.
Yeah,
Breeding
mine
project
too.
for this year. There you go.
Yeah. We'll both have a word with Alan, Vicky, because it's a lot easier. They're a lot easier to hand spawn goldfish than koi, and you can spawn them every 2 weeks. The trouble is, very quickly you end up with too many.
It's the same principle though, Daz. Just bigger.
Yeah.
Or not so much bigger if the fish aren't massive. But I mean, don't get me wrong. Trying to hand spawn that massive kahaku or monster, no thanks.
Yeah, get a few slaps around the face from its tail.
What you'd have to do is you'll have to have a word with Rick, mate, and see if there's any time you can go down while he's doing some spawning, so you can get some, maybe not hands-on, but.
The trouble is, it's normally about 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, you got to stay.
Yeah.
You'd have to. I mean, you'd have to book an holiday, Daz. Stay for night. Sleep in shed. When
No
Rick
fishing
comes in
volleyball.
kicking you in your sleeping bag,
Well, I do that
time
to
to
Toby
spawn
anyway.
some fish, Daz. You got to get up all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I'm ready. Let's do it.
I used to tow a touring caravan. I was wondering if I was to get another one, whether Ricky'd let me camp on his farm.
You can just put your own lake in there.
That's it.
Ask him if you got a 360 digger. Just dig a big hole, fill it with fish. Keep going. Just keep buying them and putting them back in his lake. Your own private one.
Be like Japan then, wouldn't it? I could just sell them and keep them.
Yeah.
Sell them and keep them.
Yeah.
Got to be the way forward.
Claude says, is Aranda's fed on Sakai Akari fancy goldfish food that Santa brought? Mine were, mate. That's what mine used to get as well. In fact.
Yeah, I got some sake ikari for bloody Arandas and such.
Well expensive.
But well expensive, and the damn stuff floated. Look, well, this is no good.
Oh, mine sunk. I got sick, but I bought something.
And I thought, well, this is stupid. This is going to give them swim bladder issues.
Yeah, they don't like to feed from surface, do they?
No. Unless I got some dodgy stuff.
The stuff that I had was like little barrel-shaped pellets.
Oh, these are bright orange.
But these sunk. They sunk, and they sunk fast as well. So it were. But they prefer to go down to bottom, don't they, and feed for them.
Yeah, it's better for them as well.
Well, like a lot of people, I suppose, this year, I haven't stopped feeding mine so far this year, even during the bit of a cold spell we did have. But I got an auto feeder set for 1 feed a day on the smallest amount possible. That just goes every day, and the food goes. So, and they're active. And when it's been a bit warmer, and my pond's at about 12 at the moment, I've been chucking about 3 or 4 handfuls in every day on top of that.
Yeah.
How much K1 media is needed for a kilo of food per week?
Oh, there is a ratio, isn't there, conversion? You'll know it, Ricky.
Not for a week, I wouldn't. For daily, I might do. You probably need about 100 litres. Yeah, 100 litre moving bed would probably do, I don't know, 250 grams a day at the right sort of temperature.
Yeah.
But yeah, it depends on how the K1 media is working, what you're doing, what other filtration's involved, what temperature, type of food, and lots of other things in it.
Variables, isn't it? Yeah.
As a rough 100 litres of moving K1 media would probably at 20 degrees convert the fish waste to ammonia for about 250 grams of food a day.
Yeah.
So,
I've always been rubbish at these sort of calculations. I just bang as much bio in as I can.
I tend to do the same, Tony. Just wing it.
yeah, well, it's one of those, isn't it? The more bio you got, but you've got to build it up. If you have to seriously grow fish, it's still got to be done as a process.
Yeah.
Oh, hang about, wrong one. EA figures, Skeggy says 501 of K1 to 250 grams a day in a moving bed.
Yeah. What did I say? 100.
Yeah.
I've gone on the safe side.
Going on the side of caution.
Yeah, I never believe EA figures.
I've got them already in my tank, mate. I've been keeping tropical since I was 9, bud.
There you
I've
go.
already got a whole little army of them cruising around in there.
There was another question popped up: K1 or K1
There,
micro?
what's the best? What media is better for moving bed? K1 or K1 micro? Yeah, somebody actually.
The micro's harder to keep in it.
It is. It gets everywhere. It jams up in things. It bloody stuff.
I get enough K1 round the garden without having that micro stuff getting involved. Everywhere it is. Oh,
Yeah.
was. Not so bad now. But...
If you're running a drum and you're putting clear water into it, then K1 micro is better because you can have a really fine screen in that bed to make sure it's not passing. But if you're running any type of debris in there, then your screen's going to block, and that's the issue. So find a screen, the quicker it blocks. If you haven't got a fine screen, it's just same in it. The higher the surface area, the more bacteria you get on it. So the smaller the media, the sinter glass media is even better, but you can't use them. But
I got a Nexus, which is the old 300. It's one of the first Nexuses, and I've got more than the amount I should have. I mean, you're meant to have a maximum of 300 litres, I think, in that Nexus, and I've got about 400 in it, but I use a stronger air pump on it as well, and it all moves. It works brilliantly.
Just sometimes takes longer when you've got more in. It takes a little bit longer for it to kickstart and get going when you've switched off or stopped it, doesn't it? You've got to give it a little bit of a bump start.
I mean, no, very rarely mine gets switched off. But it after it leaves that, it goes through a bead filter for polishing, really, and it does a good job for me.
Most people seem to fell out with K1 micro. I've heard more negatives than positives about it.
It's not the media though; it's just keeping it where you want it, isn't it?
Yeah.
The problem, it's like sand films.
What variety of goldfish grow the largest? Well, I suppose you.
Tamasaba.
Well, yeah, they do grow pretty big, don't they?
Yeah, 35 cm. I think the biggest is so far.
Your basic goldfish or the hybrids crossed with like crucians or something.
There's that one. Have you seen that one in recently in papers? Some guy's got it. It's like that. It's massive. It is a leather carp cross goldfish, but it's huge, man.
Yeah.
I think it's something like 40 odd pound.
Wow, that is a big goldfish.
It's a big monster thing.
Well, the British crucian record was scrub on it because it was a brown.
Yeah, they always are. They've got to do a genetic test to prove whether they're true crucians. This is always the problem.
Yeah, 7 or 8 pounds is a big goldfish, which is
a
chunky fish.
Since I was 9-year-old, mate, and I'm.
I mean, generally, your fancies like your Arandis and Ranchers won't go anywhere near that. They get about the size of a tennis ball, and that's about it.
Oh, big, kind
just big enough to fit a 4-inch drain.
Yeah.
That thing.
That's right. Stopper.
What do you call it? One does. That's probably about.
Oh yeah, the
that
pill
diameter
scale.
now, isn't it? It's a good size.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, my first tropical, my first tropical fish that I had was a breeding pair of swordtails, and I kept them in my uncle's tank through the 6-week holidays. And then after the 6-week holidays, my granddad bought me my first tropical tank, and I brought it home. And then I added a couple of sunset platies in, and some Mickey Mouse platies, and then I had some pea puffers. 2 little pea puffers, and suddenly realised that the pea puffers weren't actually pea puffers, they were figure of 8 puffers, and grew to about so big, and then went around nipping fins off of everything. So I had to buy tons and tons of snails to feed them all the time. But yeah, since I was about 9-year-old, bud.
Yeah, it's about the age I started.
That's what got me into keeping fish.
Yeah, I have cherry barbs, rosy barbs, tiger barb. I just went mad on barb species. Because they were a bit more tolerant of colder water because I didn't have it heated. It was just a cold water tank in my bedroom.
It's not tropical then, is it?
No, but they were tropical fish.
I've even had, you remember those, you'll remember them, Daz. They were like a green glass ball. And they used to have them with plants and stuff growing in them.
Yeah, like a bottle garden. Yeah.
My mum had a massive one of them.
Used to have these great big long tweezers. Used to put the plants in.
Puts plants in all in. She got fed up with having to trim them all back because in the end it grew that much and it just looked like a mass of green. You couldn't see all. So she took them all out, took all plants out and put it out for bin. I'm like, what are you doing with that? She said, I'm getting rid of it. I've even had one of them filled and put I drilled a small hole in top of it so I could thread cables through and have it all running down on the inside of it and made it into a tropical fish tank, which got broken by that lady in there by launching a bottle of perfume at me, and it missed me and hit the tank and boof, fish everywhere.
Well, more recently,
We're only asking about. We weren't nasty. We're just, it just so
weren't they
happened
called biorbs or something? Biorbs?
Biorbs.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, they did have something like that with like a bubble system in it. Yeah, I think.
You couldn't see the fish because it was green. Everything. You could tell there were fish in there, but they all looked green.
But then it was frowned on all of a sudden, and people stopped putting fish in bowls, didn't they? It was not the done thing.
Yeah, but when you think about a bowl of that size, to have 10 neon tetras in and a couple of guppies in, it's perfectly acceptable. I mean, that's a decent sized bowl on one of them. They were huge, big thing to get your arms.
It's when you put a goldfish in your bottle garden, it gets this big and you can't get the bugger out.
Wouldn't be no good for me growing my frying.
You'd have to smash it every time, wouldn't you, to get the fish out, like a piggy bank?
Yeah, you'd have to break it to get the fish out. Yeah. Yeah, I think my first introduction to keeping any fish was goldfish in the garden when I was a kid. Me dad built a pond, which was just a hole in the ground, and he rendered the hole in the ground just straight against the dirt, and filled it up with water, goldfish, and I nearly drowned in it when I was about 5.
Luckily, he kicked the sides in and the water went out.
Yeah, it's always good when you've got a net on it and you fall in and you get tangled up in the net. Proper man trap.
It's actually, Edward's put there, hit the like button, guys, only 6. It's refresh, mate, you'll see it's actually 43, but hit the like button anyway, guys. Appreciated. The Ginger Pond Keeper said, I had 4 crucians, but my common carp bullied them rotten, and they stopped feeding, so I moved them onto a friend's goldfish pond, and now they're thriving. Oh. It's funny when you see some types of fish, they don't get along with others, do they? If they don't like them, they've got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
There's only so much food, isn't there?
Yeah, that's it. That's normally what it always is about, isn't it? Food aggression.
Yeah.
Happens
in our house on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So
it used to be like when my daughters was at home, there was always a problem.
More stab marks in the backs of people's hands.
Terence said you got mine from the fair, but your goldfish. That's where my dad's first pond fish were from fair when we were kids. That's what he made it for.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get them directly from the fair, but the fair came to town, and at the end of when they'd finished, they let all the bloody fish go in the local gravel pit, and there was fucking goldfish everywhere. There's a little stream that went in and fed it, and they're all shouldered up, these goldfish were. And I'll scoop them out with my landing net. I'm taking them home.
You're screaming. I can hear you screaming.
Yeah, stuff you used to be able to get to the fairground. As a kid, I can remember having a bow and arrow from it, and instead of putting the bow upright to walk through the garden gate when I got home, I had it crossways, and I went straight through, and it snapped it in half.
I used to get them with the sucker on the end. You take the sucker off and just sharpen the point.
Yeah. Get a pencil sharpener.
Yeah.
Come here.
Yeah.
Come here. Say hello. Oh, you go get your medicine.
He's not ready for it yet.
No.
Too
much sugar.
Have you been having too many sweeties again? Come on, let's have a look at him.
I should be running around. I've been eating sweeties tonight. It's not worked for me.
His little Lego man is screaming.
Nice.
Well, give it. Here, we'll take him then and go give him some medicine.
It's gone.
Stealing his toys, Gaz. I don't know.
That's our Brandon's little.
Oh, he's got it. He's coming.
It's coming.
Go on then.
Sorry. What's he got?
Tony, what are you doing with your fish in the glass tank then?
You'll give him that.
50 litres, they can't stay there.
I know they can't. Trouble is,
You're stuck, in you?
I'm a little bit stuck because while the weather's been a bit mild, I should have just switched the heating off and then get it a bit balanced and sorted it. But I think I've missed that opportunity now, so I've got to wait until this next cold spell goes by.
Till March.
I hope not.
Like that.
It'd be the length of the tank. But I managed it last year somehow.
What you could do, Tony, is get another tank on the top, like one of those what's that guy? The FOP guy that's just got the
Yeah. And suck the air out and
it's a bit
increase
more
the
room,
size of it.
They could have an upstairs then.
Yeah. It might be a bit difficult to maintain that. I'll get over it. I will get over it.
Yeah.
And what temperature got, Matt?
Is he
23?
a big small man?
24
That's
they
a
are.
big small man.
Yeah, they're at 24. But they do, every time we do a water change, they go down to about 18 and then go back up to 24.
This one is here too.
So
They don't care, do they?
they're quite used to that kind of change. It don't
Well
bother
adjusted.
them.
Make sure we smell
Mad, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
They have a 6-degree temperature
can't,
shock
can you
every
just
other day.
Yeah.
Show him. Show him.
They're not bothered. They're not bothered by it.
Shy.
I bet they're used to it though.
Camera shy.
Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? I've got this new breed of koi that don't mind fluctuations in temperature, you see.
Yeah. Super coy.
Come outside, see how they like it at 3 degrees.
Yeah. That's a real test.
Yeah. If anybody out there wants to see what we're talking about, I've just loaded a video with them on. Yeah.
Sorry.
Are we looking at
Yeah.
his best koi yet, anyway?
We're going to have a look at some of the best coys, yeah. You have to excuse me, my little grandson's around. He's normally here on a Friday night, but he's come to see us because his little brother is tiring his mum out, so we're giving her a little bit. Are you going to come and say hello, or are you just... Oh, take your medicine stick. Go on then. Trouble.
Just bombing.
Thanks, bye.
I ought to just warn folk, if you do go over to look at that video, it does start off with a pink flamingo.
Yeah, it does. I noticed that. And at the end too.
And at the end.
Yeah, and some rather... Sounds like your filter system's a bit noisy.
Noisy? Oh,
sounds
no.
like crashing oceans.
I put some ocean noise against it.
Being still water.
Yeah. I tell you what, it makes you want to go for a pee every 5 minutes.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I need to go. Back in a minute.
We'll tell you what we'll do then. We'll let Daz pop for a bathroom break, and then Ash will take a bathroom break after him, and then we'll hit him with a few of the koi appreciation for the evening. Alan says, knocked out Shine You. I had a 7 foot by 15 by 15 tank with 10 piranha when I was 14. I'd give my cousin some of my fish. I had some Lake Malawi cichlids, and I'd give him a couple for his tank, and they killed his piranhas. Yeah,
If you don't keep them fish sort of well fed, do they start eating each other?
What, piranhas?
Yeah, I don't know.
They're not as aggressive as what you'd think they would be. To be
No,
fair.
no.
But
I know it's not like
when
the
they
films.
when they feed and they get that switch on, and if they're in like a natural environment, I've seen a couple of videos online, and some of them are savage little sods, man.
That's a fair tank, though, to have when you're 14, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. 7 foot by 15 foot by 15 foot.
Yes.
That's nearly. Well, that one I've got now is 4 foot by 12 by 18. But
That's almost a single bed, isn't it? 7 foot by 15.
7 foot. Yeah.
So, well, Alan didn't want to outshine me, but I mean, it's definitely outshined my 50-gallon tank.
50 litres, mate.
Why am I not seeing Dino's? That's good to hear, Dino. I'd love to have kept mine. Oh, Dino 1875. Did I miss his comment earlier? Ah, I missed it because it's a different picture, mate. Sorry, bud. I've got 2 cruising carp from Carpco in my pond. Love them. I wondered where it said there Dino there. I had 4 Qs and Pat. You've thrown me, mate, with your new logo, bud. Ginger mine are quick and get some food from the top. They also clean up the sturgeon's pellets and sink my favourite fish. As a kid fishing, so I can't part with them.
Yeah, lovely fish to catch. Fish
stunning, aren't they?
Yeah, look like gold, don't they?
Crucian. I think when the first time I ever caught a crucian carp was when I went with my dad when I was about 9 or 10 year old, and I'd never ever caught one before. And I thought, all right, what's this, Dad? And he says, it's a crucian carp, and he says, there's a little place down in Elland. I'll take you there. And he took me there, and god damn, all we could catch were cruising carp. But they were everything from this sort of size to this sort of size, and it just bang, fish after fish after fish. We must have had about 60 in morning session that we were there fishing. And as a kid, it was brilliant. They always seem to give you that telltale bite, don't they? They're like a bob, woof, then it goes. It's not like you can pretty much guarantee it's a cruising when it hits like that. Yeah.
Well, I did a lot of pike fishing back in the day, and they made fantastic live baits. Probably should be saying this. And we, instead of trying to fish for them, we used to make traps out of chicken wire, like a funnel at one end, fill it with bread, chuck it in, and within 20 minutes, you have a rope attached to it, pull it back in. It'd be absolutely heaving with them. You catch them about 50 every time.
We used to use snap tackle for pike. I think it's illegal now.
Yeah.
It's set up 3 hooks, and you put the live bait on it. One hook through the mouth, one through the tail, and one through below the dorsal. You pull it up so that it bent the fish and lob it in. Of course, the fish would go around in circles, and the pike would have it no trouble. Yeah. But all illegal now, I think.
I'm going to say, but everything's changed now.
Yeah.
For the better.
Going back to that glass tank, I can't. Well, I'm saying glass tank. I can't get my head around the size of it. It wasn't glass, was it? That size?
7 foot. Yeah, you get 7 foot tanks.
Wow, that's a big.
I thought it said 7 by 15 feet or something.
No, 7 by 15 inches.
Oh, right. I misread
There's still
it.
weight in that though.
You can work out the weight, couldn't you?
I thought I was going mad. Yeah.
You are going mad, mate.
Yeah. No, we used to use this snap tackle. We used to go to Blenheim Lakes and fish for pike. And I'd seen a pike sort of grab the bait and flick it 4 or 5 feet out of the water, and it'd drop back in again, and down it'd go for it.
I've had them come out of the water like a missile, hit the bait from underneath.
Yeah.
It in its mouth and jump clear about 4 foot out of the water and dive back in again with the fishing.
Yeah.
Pike the hunters.
Yeah. Sadly, where we are now, there's hardly any pike left. They've just completely disappeared. All the small fish are gone. All the pike have gone. The whole food chain's been destroyed. I don't know whether it's cormorants or whether it's pollution, but something's really screwed it up. There used to be massive shoals of fry, and the pike had herd them into bays in the winter. All that's gone. Yeah, quite worrying, really. There's just carp. That's all that's left. There used to be massive shoals of bream. All those are gone. Something's wiped them out. And the mature gravel pits now, so they were an ideal environment. Yeah.
Go. Here comes the boss. Look.
Yes.
She's in there. I don't mind admitting it. Right then, let's get on to a little bit of, and it will only be a little bit of koi appreciation. There's not that very many, so we shall start with the first one, which is from, let me get this brought up first. Tony Barker's first one. Tony Barker has 2 favourites.
That's it.
He has 2 favourite ones though. So.
Yeah, you can't have 2. You said last time.
Well, that's what I thought too, does. But seeing as it's Tony Barker, well, lame.
End of story.
So this is Tony Barker's first favourite one.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's not mine.
It's nice, though, isn't it? That. And this is, let's see the info said on it. Tamura Showa, 43 cm, probably the best koi in my grow-on pond, which is the reason why he went there with that one, you see. This is in his grow-on pond. So that's his favourite one in the grow-on. Now, obviously, the second favourite one is in his main pond.
Hang on, same fish.
Oh, he's got 2 ponds there. It's the same fish, that one.
Yeah, it's the same fish. This is.
Oh.
I just wanted to give the details of it.
Yeah.
Nice structure to it, isn't it?
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So that's Tony Barker's 2 videos. This one's Rick Howarth's. This is nice and all. This is a Case Shower, 43 cm, female Nisai. I think this is really nice.
I like that.
I'll be happy, mate, if mine looks as nice as that.
That's got a good body in it, isn't it?
I don't think mine will look anything ever like that, but I would have been happy if it did. That's belting, is that, mate?
Yeah.
Nice. I watched Harvest this year.
That's nice on its head how the Sumi overlays the Benny.
Yeah. Some of them fish that they brought out on their Harvest, them shower that they brought out, man, they were mint.
Yeah, it's got a massive tail. It's going to be a big fish.
Yeah. Nice, that, mate. I really like that one. And again, another.
They're all high-end fish, aren't they? Yeah.
Same fish again. I just think this is a little bit. Is this a little bit later on? A little bit more growth to it?
Yeah, that Sumi's shrinking back on its head a bit more. By the looks of it.
Skin looks good from what you can see of it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Seems a little bit.
Benny's come up on the back a lot more.
George Murdoch's. Now, this is a shame because this is. I'm sorry, mate. This is a beautiful looking fish, but when you make it bigger, the picture doesn't do it as justice, really. It doesn't look the quality side of it, but that's one hell of a nice pattern on a fish.
It's a nice pattern.
Purchased this to go in my dad's quarantine tank before the pond is complete. 28 cm Kaku from Narita, is that right?
Narita, but it's not from Narita Koi Farm are normally holding. So they sell them. They keep loads of fish from lots of other farms.
It's a nice pattern, that, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 1 in a million. That is.
But I would say this much. I will say that certainly definitely looks like it's had a bit of photo enhancing with the photograph, as in coloration. But who knows?
It's probably the exposure, though, isn't it?
That's what I mean. The exposure of it as it's been photographed. It's just a shame. It's just not a little bit more detailed. But that could be a picture of a picture. But it's still one hell of a nice fish, that, George, mate. I'd be well chuffed.
Joe would like that dorsal.
It's awesome.
Joe would like that dorsal because the Benny doesn't go into the dorsal, does it?
Yeah. It's brilliant white through it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very pretty, the fish. Don't ban me, Alan.
Very pretty fish. Time yourself out there, Rick. Oh, we've got one. We actually have. Oh, sweet. Nice one, mate. So I did think it was a picture of a picture, but there you go. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
That'd have some presence in your pond, wouldn't it?
It would.
Get that to grow to a decent size. It'd look immense, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Look how bright that is, man.
Yeah. Just hope they all stay separate. The Benny. It don't merge.
Shouldn't do.
I wouldn't have thought it would do at that age, that size now, would you?
No.
That's nice, mate. That's probably one of the nicest Kakus I've seen in a good while. Pattern wise. Benny's wicked on it. Mark Childs, Sakai Fish Farm, Sansai. See, that's a good fish.
It's like a hark, isn't it? Monster body, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that spine out down that.
Yeah.
That's a big fish. It's too big for your bowl, mate. You need a bigger bowl. I mean, that's nearly corner to corner in bowl, isn't it?
Yeah. It fills the tape measure.
Yeah, and some.
Is that a 60 cm bowl or an 80?
Let's see if we get to see it again. Like it
Good
says there.
size fish.
Yeah.
That's a 65 cm bowl, and it's corner to corner, and it's touching. So that's got to be close, 68, 69ish. Nice fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, make a nice big fish, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Steve Kendricks sent us in a picture of his pond.
Ooh.
So we've had his first pond appreciation without even knowing. There we go. Nice one.
Cool.
So pond number 1 photo. I think he actually put a few in. Oh, I'm sure there were more than that.
Oh, was that a shishui there I saw?
Never. Not much.
I will show those pictures of the pond because I know there's some more than that. Was this Amanda's? Sure, it was Amanda's.
It's nice.
Yes. It is nice.
Let me just double check. Amanda Smith, Sakai Fish Farm. Sankey.
Yeah.
Nice.
That'll be,
Nice lot of seaweed on it. It's good.
that'll keep improving, won't it, as it gets bigger?
Yeah.
There
Sally
it is,
Harfields.
isn't it? Is it?
Yamatanishki. I'm going to guess
no,
from
it's
New
not.
Forest Koi.
Could be.
That's nice as well.
Yeah,
Could go next week's for the metallics as well.
it can, yeah.
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
Just keep the video.
Just keep putting it in. As nice as that.
Yeah.
Nice clean head on it and all, on it.
Didn't that come second, the baby, in there?
Oh, look at the little two tiny little flicks of, in both pecs as well.
Yeah, a little bit. Is it orange?
No, it's black. Yeah,
Is
Is it black?
both sides.
I can't see with my vision.
I didn't
Yeah,
think
like
of that. I could put my Beat the Breeder one in, and how it's got on since it's been in the pond.
Got to catch you up, Tony.
Well, it might have done.
It's orange, isn't it? It's peck.
No, it's black.
Look like orange to me.
This is Tony Barker's Akawa Sankey. She's now close to 80 cm, grown from a tosai. Oh, that's nice. Look at that. I bet Tony's got an absolutely spectacular pond with some stunning fish in it.
I
Yeah.
reckon he probably has, hasn't he? He doesn't need the Sankey of mine. Send it back.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice fish that.
No, there we go. These Steve's remaining pictures. I don't know how that got separated out. But there's his pond filled. So we've technically had his first. It's a decent sized pond, is this though? When you look
Yes.
at it, because
It
there's
did look
the
that big when it was empty, but it looks big when it's full.
it looks big when you see somebody stood in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's a decent sized pond that.
Yeah.
Either that or that's a child. But
Yeah.
I'm not
Action
saying
man.
one way or other. But it's a big pond.
Maybe it's a Lego figure.
Yeah. It's a good way of getting the rubbish to the bottom drain, though, isn't it?
It
Yeah,
is,
I was thinking that the design
Like
and the
big
shape of
slopes
it.
on
So everything, the only ones that top shelf, I'm wondering if that is slightly sloped as well, so it runs off there from there to there, and it's all diverts everything to the bottom drain, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be a nice feeding shelf up on there.
Yeah.
You got somewhere to feed them. I'm gonna put some sinking food in.
There we go.
That's nice.
That's a still photo of Sally's. I think you're right, Daz. It's got a little bit of
Yeah,
Bennett and a bit of
thanks, Gaz.
It's both. It's got both. We're both right,
Oh, of course.
obviously.
The Pepsi dorsal are nice and shiny, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, lovely metallic luster.
Mm.
And then I think we've got one from Rick and one from Daz.
Yeah, we don't need to see them.
Oh. Help if I put it on right screen. So there's Daz's, which is Randy.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Got a very busy pattern, that, isn't it?
It is a very busy pattern. I didn't realise just how busy it was till I saw it.
Is he random? Is he fathered many?
No.
No.
He doesn't live up to his reputation.
I don't
Oh,
know. at
oh,
all.
Not
like
yet,
that.
anyway.
He's
Not
Jaffa.
one bit.
Well, he's not also he's Jaffa, but he just seems to be a little bit slow at coming forward.
I like that. It's just a bit slim, isn't it? But it's nice.
Yeah.
But it's a good 65, 70 cm.
He's a good, well, 60, yeah, easy 60 cm. Yeah, it's a nice fish.
Quite big for doinks, then.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then
Yeah,
last but not least
I
would
got
be...
I got a Deutsch Sankey that doesn't seem to want to grow.
I think he was Shinoda or what's the other one? Can you remember what farm it was from, Gaz?
It's Shinoda, I think, mate. I think it is. It
Yeah,
was Miss Lawson's, wasn't it? Mick Lawson.
It was, yeah.
And then that last one there is Rick's from New Forest Koi, but
That's nice.
it actually was... Am I all right saying? Yeah?
Look at the size of the pecs on it, like bloody elephant ears. They're huge.
I think Mark got it from Kitsukoi, come from Fuchi.
Oh.
But yeah, no, it's beautiful fish.
That's
that one
the
of the-
red Kajaku bloodline.
Is that
Right
the
there.
Mark Gardner fish then?
Yeah.
That's it's one of the
originals.
parent- Yeah. So we've
Cool.
used it for probably 4 years now with different stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lovely fish.
Weirdly, the one in the top corner you can't really see is the mother to the one Sally was just had,
Ah.
or the Yamatiliskia from the
Are they?
Benikikuru. It's cropped out of the photo, but there it is. I haven't got any decent photos of broodstock. They're just never in a place to photograph them nicely. But yeah, that red Kajaku is probably, I don't know, about 70 centimetre now.
Yeah,
But
it's a big fish, isn't it?
nice big fish. But the quality is lovely.
What's its age, Rick? Have you any idea?
It was Sanzai when Mark bought it, so it'd be probably 7 years old now.
Wow.
But yeah, he's a workhorse, isn't he? So he Mark did a spawning with him, and then we've done 4 seasons with it, with different stuff. So it's just one of those fish. It's just you can't not use it. It's lovely.
It's a
Yeah.
fish, but it's also a fish with memories, mate, in it as well, which makes it even more special.
Yeah, it's just one of those. It's just good fish, nice fish, friendly fish, got memories, and does his job when he's supposed to do it. And
That's all you want, isn't it, from a fish?
Yeah.
Funny thing is, I was having a look at some of Mark's videos again the other day.
Still good, aren't they? I mean, I
Yeah.
look at them occasionally.
Yeah, I go back now and then, have a look at one or two.
Yeah. All the detailed stuff he was doing with his brine shrimp hatching and all of that. It's all good stuff.
And that was the Koi appreciation for this week.
there can be no winner.
There can be no winner because they're all everybody's favourites.
Yeah, true.
But some nice ones there, some nice fish. Some very nice fish. That Kahaku were really nice, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think for me, if I was going to pick one, George, that's nice, mate. That's a nice.
Hang on,
nice-
it just says no winners.
No, I'm saying if I was to pick, if I were to pick a fish out of there that I wanted, that's what I would be. That carcass was lovely. That's really nice.
Tony Barker's Sankey's pretty good, but we're not picking
that Sankey
winners.
was nice.
No.
Well, Rick's shower was nice and all that. Case shower, 43.
It was.
Yeah, that's nice too. I'd be happy if mine looks anything half as good as that, but I very much doubt it will.
Give it a chance.
Yeah,
No,
I think
give
positive.
it a chance. Yeah, I'm not. I won't get rid of it, but
Buy yourself a heat pump.
it's got to be. It's got to be. I'm not so bothered about its size. It's the colour I want it to come up on it. It's very little sumi on it at all. It'd make a lovely three-step kaku if it don't ever come through. Which is what I went for. So yeah, there we go. End of the questions. End of the koi appreciation. Next week's koi appreciation, as we said earlier, will be anything metallic. So feel free to share as many or as little as you wish.
Yes, and no tinfoil fish. They've got to be real fish.
It's harsh.
No tinfoil ones.
The only fish I end up with in tinfoil are the ones I'm cooking.
Let me just make sure and double check, because there's always somebody that says, "You didn't show my fish."
You've
So I'm
missed
gonna
me
make-
fish.
Oh, there is one as well. Bollocks. David Higgs.
Oh, David, I will send you fish.
Night, bud. Sorry, I'm not blowing kisses at you. Outward to my grandson. Unless any of you want to accept it, there you go. There's a free one.
Yeah, we're all good, thanks.
This is David Higgs. Ginrin. This did make me laugh, David, when you put this in. You can obviously tell that this has been predictive text. That's changed it. Him run, shoot breeder. Which I think should say Ginrin, Shuruwatsura. But it changed it.
Is that a child's sandpit that it's in?
It looks very much like it could be. It's a nice. It's bought from Perfect Aquatics, 38 cm.
That's a nice fish.
Nice fish, isn't it?
My granddaughter's got a pink bowl like that.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Nice.
two halves.
Nice pecs as well, equal.
How do you enter, Alan? The same way as we've been able to enter for the last 12 months that we've been doing it. You join the Facebook group, and then you enter a fish and you send it in within the 7 days from now through until next week. Look up the Gazza's Koi Pond on Facebook. Join the group, mate. I'll give you access once you ask to join, and then you'll be able to post your fish in the comment when I put it in next week. Share any comments or questions in here, along with the pictures or videos of your fish, as everybody else does.
I don't. How do you do it if
Well,
you're not
or you can send them me directly if you want. You can either email them to me at gazzaskoipond1@virginmedia.com, or you can drop me a message on WhatsApp. It's the other
TikTok?
one.
Are you on TikTok?
WhatsApp, TikTok, Twitter, you name it. However you can get in touch, mate. But the easiest way is straight via the Facebook group, because you can upload it on there with a video or a photograph as well as. And there we go. That's the last one, which is David Higgs.
Was that Alan
Him-
Tate?
Oh,
Doubt it.
No,
no, it's David Higgs, that.
No, I meant the Alan you was talking to.
No, that's Alan. And then we've got Alan Tate.
I did wonder.
The Kai couple have just joined us and said, "Hi peeps, good evening. Hope you're both good."
All good.
Uh,
yeah.
Think of a question while I think of a beer.
think of a question.
I think it's trifle time.
Here we go. That's
That's
it
it.
now. They've gone, Tony. They've left us.
Oh,
You've still got Rudolph's head shoved fruit wall, look.
no, I can't have any more. I've had 2 mince pies and a bowl of trifles, it is.
I've only had a pizza for me tea. I'm feeling a bit rather hungry, to be fair.
Yeah,
Has anybody else got any more topics or questions or anything they would like to chat and talk about this evening, as we have exhausted what we
Oh,
have.
I couldn't manage one of them family size ones. That's meant to feed 6.
We sat and watched him over at Christmas period having a natter in thing, and he literally sat there from one thing to another thing to another thing to another thing, and he was just doing this all night. Daz, you're
I
gonna
have a
pop,
high
man.
metabolism.
Packets of crisps, and then he tried convincing Estelle that he'd only had 2 roses. I've only had 2 chocolate roses by pulling out just 2 wrappers from side, which he probably had about 25 of them.
I couldn't do it. I'd expand so much. Mind you, Daz is always on the go from what I can see of him on all of these videos. He's,
That's
never
it.
stops.
It's my
Well, you don't-
editing. That's just my editing. That
Just your editing, so he does
my
stop.
editing, mate. There's many a time when we've caught Daz laid down having 30 minutes.
You
half-hour
put
kit.
the Benny Hill editing on, don't you, when you're filming me?
Yeah, try to catch Daz when he's going like crazy on something, so you can do some funny editing with it. Like when we were trying to get his post in, and I kept spinning it back and making it loop again.
Oh, that was funny.
No, I couldn't eat one of those on camera. It'd all get in me beard.
I don't know, honestly, Tony. That's about as long as I could. Not that I can't grow one because I just don't do it patches everywhere. But that's about as long as I can deal with it, mate. It drives me mad. Itches like crazy.
When I used to work on a building site many years ago, I used to grow a beard, and it used to be black then. But I used to grow a beard every winter and then shave it off in the summer. My kids thought they had 2 fathers. They wouldn't speak to me for about a week after I'd shaved it off. They thought there was another man in the house.
Where's my dad?
Got it, ain't
DT Coy there has asked you a question, Rick. Rick, if you're looking for a Tosai Kahaku that you have at your farm, what would you recommend?
Body structure first. That's the issue, isn't it? So you got to start with the right structure.
Skin.
Everyone goes for selling. If I'm looking for Tosai to sell, it's all about pattern because they just sell on pattern. As much as you say not to, or try and make people not fall for it, they do. It's just if you've got a marathon 3-step Kahaku, it will sell, even if it's got a terrible body conformation or just. But for ones we're growing on, yeah, it's if they haven't got the right bone structure, there's no point in growing them on because it just looks worse and worse.
But we all want our koi to look pretty, don't we?
Well,
Yeah.
we do.
Says
Yeah.
he's looking for one for his birthday, the Big 30. Oh well, Big 30. Yeah,
Well,
so
there's
he's
some
after,
nice-
he's after. I think best way to do it is how I've seen Rick do it, mate. Is if he picks out, say 6 to 8 Kahaku and puts them in a bowl, and then you process through it by saying, right, we take out the worst ones till you're left with 3, and then you pick from the 3.
Yeah, there's an element of personal choice, but the reality is, if you go through a bowl of fish and go through all the criteria, you inevitably end up with 1 or maybe 2 that can compete against each other in terms of all the. It just comes down to pattern, and everything else is same for same sort of thing. So, yeah, from my point.
But your website at the moment, Ricky's got quite a few Kahakus of it, hasn't it? I mean, because I've been through them all. I've had a look at every one of them in great detail, and they're all lovely. Don't get me wrong, but there's one on there that I wouldn't mind. But I've already got 3.
All right. It's difficult. I don't know because we have to put different prices on stuff, didn't you? So, say our biggest selling Nisai are in the 40 to 60 quid range, which aren't our best fish, but they're at a range that people can afford. So, we sell a lot more of those, and we will do the better fish because there's only a handful of the better fish that got to command a higher price. So, yeah, it's.
And which
Value for
type's
money.
that? Sorry, I missed that.
So it's getting the right fish for the right person. So if someone wants to buy a fish that's going to make a good big fish, there's a lot more involved with it than just buying a fish that's value for money at that point in time.
See,
Funny thing is, I don't look at your prices first. I look at the fish first, go all through them. I even take screenshots of them so that I can know which one I've looked at and got the reference number, my shopping list. And then after I've sort of chose the ones I like, then I look at the price, and then half of them get thrown out because they're too expensive.
Dave says he's looking around 100 quid mark.
Yeah, we can find
There's
something.
some
It's
nice ones.
not a problem. It's just getting the right fish for the right person for what they want to do with it. If you're going to try and grow it big, then there's no point picking a fish that's not from big parents or not got the right structure. If you look at fish that can look really pretty at 3 years old, then there's certain fish that suit. And everyone does want different things from their fish. So,
I chose 2 Sankeys I liked on your site, Rick, and they've been there for ages, and they're beautiful fish. Absolutely, 2 I chose. One of them sold the other day.
you just looked for too long then, didn't you?
I looked too long,
Yeah.
I've
I've done that
we've
though,
got
to
like
be
a
fair,
1,000
Tony.
fish
I've
on
looked
the
at
website.
fish and thought
That's the
same.
problem. So the website always automatically loads the last ones photographed, but so there's 1,000 fish on there. So there's fish
I've seen
further back.
every one of them.
Yeah, some of those fish will have developed and grown. Some will have gone backwards. So we're always trying to, sort them out. It's a nightmare. The good old days when they were just in the shop and people came in and brought what they liked. But it's all online, isn't it? So
Yeah.
the photo, you can do a really nice photo of fish that's quite mediocre. Photo, you tell people it's better to see it in the flesh because that photo actually is probably better than the fish. But 9 out of 10 times the fish is better than the photo.
Yeah.
Photographing fish is a nightmare.
Well, I'll tell you what I got close to doing the other day, Rick, was I was going to put a couple of these fish together, the screenshots I got. I was actually going to send them to you and say you wouldn't fish them out and bowl them up and video them for me.
We do it all the time for
Send a
customers.
clip.
You
Yeah,
did
we
to
do.
me. Yeah.
We do it for everyone. If from a photo so hard, Lisa, we'll take them out, put them in natural light, video them, and give our honest opinion about what they're going to do. Yeah, and quite often you'll find there's 2 fish at 100 quid, and you put them out, and one's actually worth more, and one's worth less. And we'll be honest and say, well, this is going the right way, that's going the wrong way.
He did that. He did exactly that. I asked him about. I said, "What do you think to this?" And a couple of hours later, I got a message back saying, "Yeah, but what do you think to this?" Pretty much, he did. This is better body, better pattern, blah, 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 blah. That one's a nice one, but it's not going to do what this one's going to do. And I'm like, right, nice one, thanks, I'll have that one instead. And it was a nicer fish by far.
Yeah.
No point of selling fish that if people look at a photo and buy it and they're disappointed, then that's not going to get repeat custom, and we live off that, don't we? So
Yeah.
if we can put fish in a bar and say, look, these are better than that, or whatever, you can't be more honest than that at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And if we have some fish that we've marked up, photographed that don't sell, then obviously they end up getting reduced in price later in the year because they're going the wrong way or they're not as good, and someone gets them cheaper. So everything ends up in a good home. And I don't know how else to put it. So pricing fish is really difficult because when you photograph and when you harvest them, they could look quite equal, and you could look at them and think, there's not a lot in them. But 6 months in the shop, and they could be poles apart.
Yeah.
Like, well, the customer's only picking from a photo. So if we do a video and say, well, this one's now worth a lot more and that one's worth less, but it's your choice.
Dave says it might be worth a look around the time then and maybe give you a ring, Rick.
100%, because the fish are always coming in and going.
Rick did it for me and I'm very happy with mine from Vicky. There you go.
Customer service here, isn't
There you
it?
go, like for like.
Yeah.
I've got to say it same, mate. I'm happy with
Speaks
all the ones I've
volumes.
got too.
I mean, it's really nice to see them in the flesh, really, isn't it? But if you
Yeah, it
can't
is.
get right down on the south coast there to to have a video sent to you of the ones you chose off the website would be brilliant, I think.
Yeah.
We'll do everything we can, because like says, if you have a customer that's not happy, then they're not going to come back, are they?
No.
So
It's
done. We will always do what we can within reason.
And while you're watching that clip, to make your mind up, somebody else has clicked on it and put it in their basket and bought it.
Well, there is always that element
times
to
that
it. Isn't there? That's the worst thing about online purchasing, isn't it? There has been ones where I've thought, you know what, I'll put that in the basket and I'll tomorrow when I get home from work tomorrow, and then when I've gone back to it, it's gone. I'm like, you bastard.
I've looked at someone I've
gone.
earmarked them to show you guys, and they've gone.
Yeah.
Sold.
So you scroll back down to it and you go, out of stock. Why don't you produce 3 of them?
We do try, but they've all got to go, haven't they?
Yeah, of course.
Continual turnover.
Yeah.
So we do try.
Has anybody else got any more? Any more questions anybody would like to ask? If not, I shall give you a couple of minutes and then I'm going to make this a wrap.
You got to put your grandson to bed, haven't you?
Say again?
You got to put your grandson to bed, haven't you?
He's literally just gone.
I'm going to say he's gone quiet. I think
the wife's just taking him up to bed. So
I've got another grandchild that's going to arrive in the next few days.
Oh.
So,
yeah, there you go. There's one as well. The new TW picks next week as well, coming up. That's what actually the the one that I was talking about. The
Boy or
Red
girl,
Kajaki
Tony?
came out in your
Don't
pick,
know.
Vince. It's one of yours.
Nice. It's always nice to have a surprise.
Yeah, there you go. Vince
Well,
might
Yeah,
pick 'em,
again,
Dave
the
has to catch
TWs,
'em.
just for people that are watching, the TWs get you an extra 10% discount. Is that right? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I've lost all control. I don't know.
It's all
but
going
it don't work on all of them. The ones I've looked at that I want haven't got a TW in front of
Oh,
it.
that's why you need to get Vince to go in and edit it for you.
Yeah,
Let him loose on it.
yeah. I was going to twist Carl's arm behind his back. But,
Yeah, I think they'll be in next week with you before I get him to work. So,
yeah, the grandchild's due on the 17th, so it's getting close.
Oh, everything goes well, Tony.
It's
What
end
would that
of
be? Number 3?
No, only number 2.
beginning of Feb.
Yeah,
For my-
waited a long
for
time
my
for the
third.
first one.
My third grandchild, my little granddaughter. One that we can put in little dresses and stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
Instead of those horrible little boys that just run around beating the crap out of you all the time. That's all he does. He comes in, beats me up. That's it. I guarantee you tomorrow morning I will wake up with somebody jumping or kicking me in the head.
That's just the wife.
Yeah, and then Ted will join in as well probably afterwards. Yeah.
We've had a long run of girls in our family, so if this does become a boy, it'll be the first one in ages.
Yeah.
Jeff says he will ring you about the key Deutsch Matsuba. Is that right?
The trouble is he's heated, isn't he? So we've got to make sure that was the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not high heated. Is it about 15
20 degrees now.
Is it 20? Oh, he's upped it then, yeah.
Yeah, he upped it because he's
He's
bought
growing
he's
stuff
bought
up.
a bag of Sakai Akari, and you can only get that growth at certain temps, aren't you? So you only get
Yeah.
the best out of it at a certain temp. So he's taking it up. So
He just wants to get that target a bit bigger. That's what
he's
it's
he's on a growing mission.
So now he's got to turn the heating up.
He said to me today, he says, I haven't had eating on for 3 days. I said, you tight bugger. And I says, fish are sat at 20 degrees, Jeff. You haven't got eating
in the
on.
pond with them.
Shivering in the house.
I've got a Deutz Key Matsuba from Ricky, and I tell you what, that's grown and it looks beautiful.
The nice fish, yeah.
If I can get mine to grow, mate, I've got to admit, the one that I got from Crafty and the one I got from you, side by side, man, they look mint, them. They look really, really nice. I've got to admit, I think Deutsch, I know I know Mr. Tate probably won't agree with us. Spent years and years and years breeding perfect scalation into fish, and I prefer Deutsch.
I do, to be honest. I can't help it, but they just look really nice to me.
Yeah, they do. I think they look stunning. Lovely.
I do from a business point of view. They're easier to sell.
Yeah.
I just like a nice mix. You know?
Yeah. To be fair, Tony, I mean that Deutsch Kahaku that I've got, man, the pattern on that is lovely. That's so nice.
They just don't look real, do they? They're so
Don't
sharp.
look real. No, it just looks like somebody just literally painted it on.
I just want one or two of each, really, and
Yeah.
Start your own art, aren't you?
I've got one scale Kahaku. I've got Jeff's big one now. That's and then the Deutsch one that Rick gave me. So I've got two of my own that I've got, and then obviously the one.
Did I give you a
Alan
Deutsch
Tate,
Kahaku?
Deutsch, I'll say no more. Told you didn't like him, and for him to like that little lemon Arawaki being a Deutsch was like rocking horse shit. That.
I like how sharp the patterns are on.
I do.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was
Especially
Alan
like
saying
a
that
show or a
Stepping Stone
spanking.
thing, wasn't it?
Sorry?
Is that just called the Stepping Stone Islands of Japan through the seas and the waves and scales?
Yeah. Some load of cobblers.
Still haven't been able to find out
Points.
that final name for that fish. I can't find
Hasn't
it.
he told you?
No, he won't tell me. He won't even tell me if I'm right or wrong, or even he won't even give you a hint, mate. Never mind how else. You just got to keep searching and try to find what it is. But it is dragon scale, but there's a proper name, and he hadn't even. I sent him a message saying, "Am I right? I mean, is that it? Have I got it right?" Nothing. No reply.
That
Nothing
means
at all.
no then.
Yeah, well, that's what I said to Crafty. I says, he hadn't told me. He says, he won't, mate, till you get it right. And then he'll tell you.
Yeah.
It's
So,
Deutsch.
how are all your Momotaro Kahakus doing then?
Mine's doing well, to be fair.
Yeah, mine's doing well. Yeah.
It could do with some more size on it, but
Yeah.
it's a presence in my pond for sure. It's a good feeder. I just
Mine's
need to
put-
feed it more.
Put a good 2 cm on since I've had it, so I'm happy with it.
Oh, mine's done more. Mine were 26 when I got it. It were 32 when I measured it when I built my big pond. So
I haven't measured mine. I'm only looking at it and thinking, yeah, that's put a
see,
good 2
look,
cm on at
come on,
least.
Gaz, try harder. I've been searching, mate. I can't find anything on it at all.
Just Deutsch, man.
Yeah, it's
I
just
think
Deutsch,
mine
dragon scale.
looks as if it's been growing better in the main pond since we put it in there than it was in the Tosai tank. So
It's growing more.
Yeah.
Mine's grown. It's really, it likes sinking food. It's super shy about eating off the top.
Yeah.
Weirdly. The other fish are fine, but it just wants to eat sinking food all the time.
You get certain fish like that seem to prefer the feeding off the bottom.
It's not sulking, Vince, but it's still a bottom feeder. It's just shy compared to the rest. I'd say it's grown, but I've no idea.
no, I don't know. I don't know how much mine's moved that way. But it seems
I'd
to have
agree
good
with that.
appetite.
I would agree with that, Dino. I think they are.
Yeah.
Especially the best Deutsch lemon Harawaki in the country. do it justice then. Buy it a proper
Take it to the
bowl so we
national.
can get it in a proper bowl instead of being squashed in one of Young'un's buckets.
Take it to the national, can't we?
I thought the best.
I love a lemon Harawaki, mate. I think
thought the
that's
best
probably my favourite
Deutsch
Deutsch.
lemon Harawaki was in your tank at the moment, guys.
It is, mate. That's the best Deutsch lemon Arawaki is in my tank. And when it gets the same size as Dino's, he'll be going, you know what, guys, you're right. That is better than mine.
Could have a lemon Harawaki off.
Right then, ladies and gents, I'd like to say a massive thank you, and as for anybody that we didn't manage to wish it to earlier on that's joining us later, Happy New Year to you all. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Don't forget, next week will be the metallics, all types of metallics. So if you could do us a huge favour, bang us in your pictures, your videos and your photos, and it doesn't have to just be one. If you've got several and you want to enter into a few, it's not a problem.
Pond full.
Yeah, you've got a pond full of metallics. Show us your old pond. Let me know what anybody thinks about the koi pond appreciation or doing the koi pond filtration system, how it runs, etc., etc. And we might showcase one person's pond each week from now on in. Usual thing, guys. If you've been enjoying this kind of content, do us a huge favour: like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Till next week and next one. Keep smiling, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Good night, all.
Everybody.
Good night. Happy New Year.
Happy
Yes,
New Year.
happy New Year to you all.